Okay. Let's see how are we doing. Let's see if anybody can hear me or see me or anything else like that. Take us biddies. Anybody around here? Can hear and see me. Audio and video are good. Excellent. That is great to know. Okie doke. Just give me half a second here. Here we go. Okay, so we were around here last time. I don't remember exactly where, but this should be close enough for us for now. Basically, we're very close to the voting the door. So just let you guys know. Okay. So Lotus. Well, the red is working now. Yeah, if you remember, there again, like Snake disappeared again, and then what's her name, the little kid, Clover went looking for him, and she disappeared. Now we're about to go look with Clover for Snake.
No, we're not leaving two people behind. We should go look for them.
Yeah, Moose. Well, what am I gonna do? Oh man, this ain't good. Oh yes, what an excellent idea. We just wasted a bunch of time looking for some piece of electronic junk. Now let's waste some more by looking for a couple of idiots. Mr. Streamer 2, well, did you take the bookmark from Santa? Yeah, of course he did. Did take the bookmark. Snake died, but we restarted the game, Moose. We did it again. This time we're gonna get, hopefully, depends on you guys, but we might get the really good ending. We had to do the last ending to unlock the very best ending. So we started by taking a different door than we did in our first choice. It was a bit different. June is much hornier this playthrough for some reason, like really hitting on us. And now we're gonna see if we can get something different. We'll see. Then remain here if you feel you must, but there's no time. We have only 5 hours left. Junpei and the others nodded to one another and took off at a run. From the stairs that led to B deck, they decided to split up. They quickly assigned search areas and went their separate ways. Soon only 2 of them were left. Those 2 were Junpei and June, who had been a few steps behind the others. Alright, we should go too.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah, well, she is. It's kind of weird that it's a completely different game, like from the first, depending on the first door you choose. Like with this, it was non-stop like sexual innuendos from June and shit. It was crazy.
But where should we start?
Let's see. Okay, well, might as well go according to the order since it doesn't seem to matter much. Oh, the casino and B deck.
Okay, sounds good.
They took off up the stairs at a run. Before they knew it, they were there. So was Lotus. She was leaning against the wall, examining her nails. Wonder if anything's gonna be different with the people we find this time. Hey, what do you think you're doing? She glanced up at him, unimpressed.
Isn't it obvious? I'm looking for Snake.
I'm just not seeing it.
Really? Maybe you'll need to look harder.
Junpei didn't think that was the problem.
Oh, by the way, I've got a proposal for you too. Care to hear it?
Yeah, I guess we'll listen. What is it?
Well, I don't like to beat around the bush, so I'll get right to it. Why don't we team up?
Team up?
Yeah, what, you need me to explain it to you? I'm saying, why don't we go through a numbered door? Even if we wanted to, that's impossible.
Beat around the bush. That made me laugh.
Why? Jumpy's bracelet is number 5, mine is 6, and yours is 8. Our digital route would be 1.
Yeah, math checks out, whatever.
But there's no number 1 door in the large hospital room.
Impossible, yeah, it came out by mistake.
The only doors there are 3, 7, and 8. Then we had another person. Huh? Who? What, isn't that easy? 7.
She was right. If they added 7, it comes out as 8. Then the 4 of them could go through the number 8 door. But... whoa, hold on a sec. What about the other 4?
Why don't you add them up?
That was simple enough. Math. The digital root for those 4 would be 1.
That's right.
And you know the number 1 door is in the big hospital room, right?
Of course I know that. No. Are you saying you'd leave them behind? Of course not. What kind of woman you think I am? Once we get off the ship, we could come back and rescue them, couldn't we? Then we wouldn't really be leaving them behind. Don't try to lie to us. I don't think you'd do anything of the sort. Really? Why do you think that? You remember, don't you? We have less than 5 hours left, even if we manage to escape. There's no way we could come back to rescue them in less than 5 hours. Well, you never know until you try.
No. You're not thinking this through. Even if we brought 7 with us, we wouldn't be able to get off this ship. The 4 of us got an open door 9.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Yeah, that's right. The digital root for us 4 will be 8, so we'd have to add ace to make 9.
Right. Unless you bring ace 2, we'll be stuck. Let us scratch the back of her ear.
Oh.
Exactly, 0 is Bane.
Well, that's unfortunate.
She didn't sound particularly bothered by what Junpei said, nor did she seem particularly surprised.
Well, let's try and find another way, okay? A way to get out of here with all 8 of us. That's impossible. Are you being serious? You do know that only 5 people at most can go through one of the numbered doors, right? The number 9 isn't going to be an exception to that rule. Regardless, at least 3 people will get left behind.
You're right, that is true. The moment he said it, Junpei felt a chill run down his spine. It was true. How Lotus could remain cavalier about so terrifying a prospect was beyond him. When they found the number 9, they would have to choose from 3 of them. They would have to choose which 3 of them would die. Lotus's forehead furrowed.
Do you think I can have a moment alone? There are some things I need to think about.
And that's it, I guess. Next up, Junpei and June turned and began walking away from Lotus. Talking to her had left them feeling ill. Junpei's heart felt heavy and his steps sluggish. But he told himself pessimism would get them nowhere. So he forced himself to smile and turned to June. Let's just focus on finding Snake for now, okay?
Yes, you're right. We can think about those other things later.
Junpei nodded. Alright, where should we go next? First class cabin, I guess. Yeah. Let's go take a look at the first class cabin. It's really close. Turned around and took off down the hallway to their left. Play some blackjack? Oh, what, because of the casino? Nah, they only had baccarat right there. We were there last run. Outside of the first class cabin, they found Clover. Okay, volume alert. Evening, Golf. How are you doing? How are you this fine evening? Volume alert for Clover, guys. Don't whine to me later. She was standing in front of the wall. She was staring at a meaningless point in the wall, her eyes blank. What should Junpei do? Talk to her. Might as well. Are you alright? He did his best to sound friendly, but Clover didn't respond. Look, I know you're really worried, but He could think of no words to say that didn't sound hollow and fake. Really, disciple? She's not a bit underage for you? Junpei hesitated. Clover was so consumed by worry and fear that Junpei feared it would crush her. Her actions didn't surprise him. She had suddenly lost her brother, who seemed to have been very close to.
Lone.
Her voice was thin, barely audible.
Lone.
She's 18? Are you sure she's 18? I remember they said it in the game.
Lone. Huh? I said leave me alone!
Suddenly she was screaming.
You're so annoying! Just go away and leave me alone! Just looking at you guys is pissing me off! Go away, okay? Just go somewhere else. Stop bothering me!
Junpei was taken aback. Such anger and hate. Jun's eyes had gone wide with surprise as well.
Why are you still here? Did you hear me? Fine, forget it! If you're gonna leave, then I'll just...
Alright, let's go, Jun.
Yeah.
Unreal, perfect woman. Nice, Moose. Classy. They turned and left Clover. As they did, Junpei glanced back over his shoulder to see Clover wiping tears from her face. Clover had driven home the misery of their situation, but Junpei told himself that getting depressed would get him nowhere but depressed. For Clover's sake, they had to find Snake, and fast. He did his best to push away the misery and depression and forced a smile. So where do you think we should go next? Let's go to the hallway with all the rooms. When we go back to C-Deck, we can take a look at the hallway with all the rooms.
Okay, let's get going then.
By the way, I think we can skip this part, and if you guys want... Oh, hey, Jodmund! What's up, my man? Did you change your, name color in chat? Or am I, mistaken? I think it was... Wasn't it green? Anyway, I think I can skip this part if you guys want to advance more quickly, but... For now, I'm doing the voices. I like reading all the text. Ahead of them, farther down the hallway, they spotted Ace. Hey! Snake! Where are you? Answer me if you're there. Junpei paused. What did you want to do? Yeah, let's run to Ace. With Jun in tow, Junpei jogged up to Ace. Hearing their footsteps, he turned to greet them. Oh, hello. This asshole, and he knows that he thinks he killed him. He thinks he killed Snake, so... He is such an asshole. Hello there. Snake is, well, that's obvious, isn't it? I assume you haven't found him yet either. Junpei nodded.
I really wonder where he could have gone.
Yeah, that's what I meant, Jode. It's orange now, didn't it used to be green? Well, wherever he's disappeared to, we must find him as quickly as we can, for Clover's sake.
Right.
That thirsty bitch, she was all over me last stream, all over me. Jun's face looked kinda enraptured.
By the way, do you think Clover and Snake...
Oh, sorry. By the way, do you think Clover and Snake are really siblings? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? The question seemed somehow odd to Junpei. Well, she wants all of them, Wada. Why? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? They don't look alike at all. Ace looked at him for a moment and then spoke. Yes, you know, now that you mention it, they don't. Now that you mention it? Oh, right, because he has prosopagnosia, or something like that. Prosopagnosia. That's what he has. And that's why he doesn't know that they don't look alike. He just assumed that they do. So there are a great many siblings who do not look like one another. It certainly isn't rare. Junpei wasn't sure why, or even if he was saying what he thought he was, but he could have sworn that Ace's face tightened as he spoke. What the fuck is that? Prosopagnosia, Disciple D, we learned from this game. It's a condition where someone can't, like, it's a cognitive disorder where you can't, well, Wada's probably gonna say it soon. Prosopagnosia, it's a condition, cognitive condition where you can't differentiate people's faces. They all just look alike to you, and you can't really read emotions because of, like, facial. There we go. There's Wada. And it's hard to read emotions like that from people's faces and stuff like that. But basically, they all look all faces look the same to them, and he has that apparently. My clock is ticking. We really can't afford to waste any time. You can recognize people's faces? No, that's because you changed it again, Joe. That's no, you can't. That's exactly the idea of what that's exactly how they're using it as a plot device here, because he couldn't recognize faces and he didn't know. He thought he was killing Snake, but apparently he didn't. He killed Guy X, who we still don't know who that is. So, very well, let's get back to the search, shall we? You can leave this area to me.
Alright. Let's go, Jumpy.
At June's urging, they left. And that's it for the looking. They found themselves back at the stairs, but Junpei's mind was in turmoil. There was so much to think about, but no, it would have to be put aside for now. What am I talking to? Yeah, Disciple, there's a cool guy on Twitch chat called Jodmund. Talking to him. As they said, finding Snake was their top priority. Junpei did his best to clear his mind. Alright, where should we go next? That's it, we're done. Let's go back to the large hospital room. Why don't we go back to the big hospital room?
Okay. Let's go then.
They turned and headed back toward the large hospital room. On their way to the large hospital room, Junpei and June noticed Santa standing next to the number 3 door. Junpei paused. What should Junpei do? Guess we'll talk to him. Junpei and June walked up to Santa. What are you doing? What, you can't tell? I'm checking out the red.
Why? Is there something bothering you?
What, it's not bothering you?
Huh?
The guts of this red. But would you wonder who the hell put it back in here?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm curious too, but...
Who do you think did it? Santa's eyes narrowed as he looked at June. Yeah, exactly, Disciple. She shook her head.
I don't know.
Well, what about you, Junpei? Who do you think fixed this thing for us? 0. Last time I thought Lotus, but it was now I know it was definitely 0. I'm pretty sure of it. I think it was probably 0. Why? Isn't that obvious? He's the guy who set this whole thing up. You don't think that should mean the opposite? Seems to me like that means he didn't do it. Oh, hey, Cake to Chink. He's 3 stars. I thought I turned down all the filters. That sucks. I hate the filters. Anyway, he's a what? I mean, who do you think? I mean, who do you think took that stuff out in the first place? Probably 0. Yeah, exactly. Then why the hell would he put them back in after he'd taken them out himself? It just doesn't make sense. Why do all that work? Well, I know why. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So what happened then? A Sandnagger? Who are you talking about? You're talking about Santa? Because he's pretty much the opposite. Who put that stuff back in the reds? Junpei furrowed his brow. So in other words, one of us is the person who fixed the red. No, I still think it was 0. Santa grinned. Bingo. We have a winner. But if that's true, yeah, but who was Cake Tick Chink whatever, who was he referring to? But if that's true, then the person who did it doesn't want the rest of us to know they fixed the red. Yeah. But why? No idea. Maybe if they come clean on that, it means we'd find out something else. Something bad. Something bad? Dunno. But whatever it is, it's gotta be worth hiding. Oh, me? Yeah. Well, no. No, actually I'm not. I'm the other type of person to live there. Of course. Could have something to do with Snake's disappearance. You think maybe they did something to Snake? It's not out of the question. Junpei stared at Santa. For sure, Disciple D is right. Okay. Disciple D is on SafeStateHeroes.com. There was something about him that made Junpei wary. I really want to play 999 sequel, but I don't have a 3DS or Vita. Everyone's talking about that, but isn't there a 3DS emulator? I mean, I'm not. If you can, I think a game like this is worth buying. But if you don't have the console, then what are you gonna do? And isn't there a 3DS emulator? I thought there was. Kinda soon. Oh, okay. When Santa spoke again, his voice was quiet. Look, if you trust anybody in this game, you're gonna lose. You gotta be careful. Actually, Santa did disappear last time pretty much when we needed him the most, so maybe he's right about what he's saying right now. The person you trust the most could turn out to be the one who stabs you in the back. Hardly usable still. Oh, well... Maybe by the time, well, it's not out yet. I think there is, but my PC also sucks dick. Oh, well, mine too. That's why I use. That's why I play 2D games usually. Yeah, I hear you, Jodmund. But you know, it's just a matter of time. Eventually, you'll get enough money to get a new computer or to get a 3DS or something. Best bet is for applying Virtue's Last Reward, and third game is probably to pick up a cheap used 3DS or 2DS. Huh. Oh well. Without a depressing suggestion, he turned and quietly walked away. What's the game with the pins on the DS? I never heard of that. Junpei and Jun looked at one another and smiled awkwardly. Where would they go next? That's it. Finish searching. They looked everywhere they could think of, but Snake was nowhere to be found. Mine's pretty shitty. I should buy a new computer when I get the money. The first problem is I don't have the money. Second problem is I don't know if I should buy a laptop or a desktop. Because this is a laptop. I bought it for my studies 4 years ago. But now I'm almost done studying and I don't know if I want to have like video games with me everywhere, or I want to use maybe this computer as like an internet machine and have a desktop for video games and streaming and stuff. The world ends with you? I don't think I heard of that. Desktop? Yeah, I'm still not sure, Wada. Okay, Lotus looked around at 6 frustrated faces and spoke.
We can't keep looking for Snake. Wherever he is, he's not here. We need to get moving.
Well, Disciple, I got a poll on my Twitch page to request games and vote for requested games, so you can use that if you want to see me stream it, if it's possible. Junpei couldn't disagree with what she was saying. Oh wait, you said it's on the 3DS, right? So, oh no, the regular DS. The World Ends With You is fucking awesome. Really? I never heard of it. You should for sure play it. Put it on the poll, Cake or Disciple, and I'll play it eventually. If more people vote for it, I'll play it more quickly. But I think but I already figured out the next game I'm going to play after 999, so maybe it'll be the one after that. Junpei couldn't disagree with what she was saying. Snake seemed to have completely disappeared. There was no point to wasting any more time. Fuck playing it on anything but original hardware though. Really? Why is that, Gogolf? Finally, Seven spoke. We ain't got no choice. Lotus is right. We're not gonna find Snake. That game does not lend itself well to emulators at all. Aw, that sucks. That might mean I won't be able to play or stream it then. But I can give it a shot. I don't know. I mean, 99 originally didn't work with Desume either, and with no cash, it's working excellent. So we'll see. The call scheme is a complete nightmare to set up on emus. Well, I recommend you play Ghost Trick. I think it's already in my requests, Jodmund. I think I actually tried it once, started it, but didn't keep on going for some reason. I don't remember why, but I think it's already there, so you can vote for it, Jodmund, if you want, or if you're the one suggested it. I don't know. There's a problem though. We gotta figure out who's gonna go through which door. Can't emulate it now. Just the controls will be absolutely awful. Well, I can give it a try, Golf. If it's that bad, then I can quit it or not do it. Touchscreen is super important in it. Well, touchscreen on this game is working excellently, so I don't know. And sometimes you gotta like choose really specific places to search in the puzzles. So you know.
Yes, I have a proposal.
She walked back and forth across the floor, her heels clicking against the wood. Finally, she stopped.
Why don't we decide on one person to sacrifice?
Sacrifice?
Well, perhaps that's a bit of a harsh word, but yes. You've all figured it out by now, haven't you? We can't make it all through those doors. If we split into 2 teams of 4 and 3 people respectively, then 3 people will be left behind. If we split into 2 teams of 5 and 2 people respectively, then 2 people will be left behind. But if we split into 2 groups of 3 and leave 1 person out, then only 1 person will be left behind.
Leaving behind 3 people with all this math. She was right. Math checks out. Wasn't pleasant, but she was right. Well, it's more that the combat. Oh, there's combat. Revolves heavily around quickly flicking your styles across the screen, while also using the face buttons and shoulder buttons. Oh, I see now. Well, maybe if I'll have a control. No, that won't work actually, because of the stylus. So a regular controller won't help me there. Was pleasant, but she was right. There wasn't any way that the numbers worked out. If one group was 4, the other group would always have a digital route that didn't match the door. When Seven spoke, his voice was strained. Dude, you're saying we gotta decide who's gonna stay behind?
Yes, we do. Given our circumstances, it's logically and morally the best solution.
Well, it's possible to focus on one or the other, and attacks are performed by certain motions on the touchscreen or by shouting into the microphone. Oh. Yeah, that might be a bit. Well, again, I can give it a shot, and you know, worst comes to worst, I just won't stream it. But I can still give it a shot if people want.
If the other 6 are to survive, then 1 person has to sacrifice themselves. No, that's too cruel. What's so cruel about it? To sacrifice someone like that. Then what's your plan? Maybe we should sacrifice 2 people instead of just 1. That's not what I meant. We shouldn't sacrifice anyone. I told you that's impossible. Wake up!
Whoa, calm down, you 2. Notice how he said the number 2 and not 2-T-O-O? O-T-W-O? Santa stepped between Lotus and June. Look, what Lotus is trying to say is that you should aim to bring the greatest amount of happiness to the greatest amount of people, right?
Exactly. That's how democracy works. And for that reason, I think the only fair way to decide who will be sacrificed is through a vote. What do you think? No, that's terrible. I'm not asking you. Shut up! What about you, Santa?
Me? Well, I agree, I guess.
Alright, that's 1 vote for. Counting mine, that's 2. 7?
I can't say I agree with you, but we don't exactly have a choice. If we don't do something, we're all gonna die.
Glad to see you get it. If I can get 1 more vote, then it's decided. What about you, Clover?
Clover had moved away from the group and was sitting on one of the beds. Her whole body drooped. Junpei didn't know if she'd ever heard Lotus's proposal. If she'd even heard Lotus's proposal. Lotus walked over to Clover and gently laid a hand on her shoulder.
Your brother has to be behind one of the numbered doors. We searched everywhere, but we didn't find him. Doesn't that mean he has to have gone through one of them somehow?
Clover slowly lifted her face.
Let's go look for it together, okay? If we sacrifice one person, then we can go look for him. You agree with me, right?
Clover nodded once.
The motion carries.
Lotus spun around and walked toward Junpei.
Now, let's start a vote to...
That won't be necessary. Ace had barely spoken for Lotus's entire speech, and everyone jumped a little. 6 pairs of eyes turned to look at him. He didn't seem to notice or even care. I will stay. That should solve our problem, yes?
Ace, what are you saying? No, you can't do that. That won't solve anything.
Jun's voice shook, and she looked around desperately for someone to agree with her. Ace simply looked at her. Jun, I'm afraid you may have misunderstood me. I said I would stay, but I never said I would sacrifice myself.
Huh?
I trust you, and each and every one of you. High words from the traitor. I believe you'll come back for me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is optimistic, and that is just nuts. Those doors only go one way. You go in, you don't come out. If we go through them, we'll be able to return, correct? Yeah. True. But that will not be the case once you've escaped from the ship. What? Please, I beg you. Once you've escaped, come back and rescue me. Ideally, within the time limit Zero has given us. No, that's ridiculous. There's no way we could get back in time. Finally, Junpei could hold his tongue no longer. We've only got 5 hours left. We don't even know where the hell we are. How on earth are we gonna find someone to come and rescue you? And perhaps you would prefer to stay instead of me? Perhaps you would be willing to leave Jun behind. His voice was dignified, and without a hint of cruelty or malice. Junpei had no rebuttal. You see, there's no other choice. Then I see we've come to a conclusion. Go on. Don't worry yourselves about me. Go, quickly. Junpei stood frozen by indecision, unable to move. Jun bit her lips so hard that Junpei feared she would break the skin. Santa stood against the wall, calm and aloof. Seven tore his beanie from his head and turned it over anxiously in his hands. Clover stared at Ace with an expression Junpei was unable to decipher. Lotus's attitude, however, was different from the others.
Good. Let's accept his kind offer then.
She smiled, her eyes bright. Ace answered with a smile of his own. Good. I think this is the best for me. Perhaps I'll be able to take a nap. Perhaps it's my age, but I get tired so easily these days. As he spoke, Ace lowered himself down to the floor next to one of the beds. From somewhere deep in the ship, Junpei suddenly heard the screeching of metal on metal. It was almost as if the ship were screaming. Would it really hold until their time limit was up? Already the deck was flooded. In the sudden silence, the only sound was the sad mellow wail of the ship. You got the bookmark for Santa? Yeah, I did. Unsurprisingly, it was Lotus who spoke first.
Well, what are you waiting for? We're wasting time. Why don't we hurry it up?
As if a spell had been broken, the others all began to talk at once. You're right, we should get going. That's all we can do right now.
7.
Seriously. Honestly, I was getting kinda sick of listening to you guys talk.
You too, Santa? I have to find my brother! Wait, all of you. Let's just calm down and think about this. There has to be a way to get everyone out. There has to be. Right, Jumpy? Say something.
Yeah, let's think. There's gotta be another way. His words sounded hollow and fake.
Fine. Forget about it. I'll figure it out on my own.
She spun around and ran towards Ace. Yeah, 7 is pretty cool. He had slumped down next to the bed when June grabbed his arm and pulled.
Come on, Ace. Please stand up. You can't give up yet. We just have to sit down together and think about this. We'll figure out a way that we can all get out of here.
Then it happened. Plop. Ace fell forward. He slumped over onto the wooden floor, his body folded in half like a boxer out cold.
Ace!
June cried out, then dropped to her knees beside him. I mean, sure, he's an incredibly cliche amnesia character, but something... Yeah, but his amnesia doesn't really play that often. He's more of a cliche black guy, I'd say. 7 is your N-word. Oh, yeah. But sometimes he feels like the only character besides Junpei with half a brain cell. That's true. No, actually, Lotus is as annoying as she is. She's really smart. She knows a shit ton of stuff, and she's helping out a lot throughout the game. And of course, Ace is very smart. Snake is smart. There are a bunch of characters that are smart. Just also a bunch that are idiotic. She put her arm around his neck and did her best to lift him up.
What happened, Ace? Say something.
She shook him frantically. And if I remember correctly from the last time, like the last playthrough, then he's singling himself out and sacrificing himself, and now stabbing himself with a needle, so we couldn't go through door 3, right? That's what I remember. So we can't go through door 3 anyway. It's either 7 or 8. And I think last time we went to 8, I think. His eyes fluttered open. I'm alright. His voice was weak and slightly slurred.
How are you? Fine.
This. He held out his left arm and slowly opened his hand. It was a syringe and a small vial. The vial was empty. It has only recently been emptied. A few drops clung to the sides. There was a label taped to the side of the container. It read Soporel Beta. Oh wait, hold on. So if that's true, then I'm gonna make the poll right now and already post it so we can advance more quickly later. Okay, if that's true and we only have 2 options, I'll look at the poll once we reach the point of choice, which is also when I'll save and back up my save. I read Soporel Beta. Soporel Beta? Junpei had no idea what it meant or what kind of medicine it might be.
Did you use this?
Yes. It's just anesthetic. I'll be fine.
Anesthetic?
I found it earlier. Probably a lie, since this company is the one who makes these anesthetics. While we were searching the hospital rooms. I thought it might be useful later. I didn't think I'd be using it on myself.
Why did you do this?
Didn't I tell you? I'd like to take a nap. I really am very tired. Junpei knew that wasn't why he'd done it. Ace had injected himself with anesthetic to forestall Junpei and June's attempt to bring him along. If he couldn't move, there was nothing they could do. He'd injected himself so that they would be forced to leave him behind.
Ace.
Huh? Is there something you want to say? Also, I'm reminding you guys that I'm pretty sure last time we took door number 8. Pretty sure. Not 100% though, you can check. Was there another time and was paying half attention? What happened? Ace stabbed himself with an anesthetic. Basically, so he'll take himself out of the equation and there's no way he can come with us through the doors. I'd just like to sleep a little. Could you keep it down?
No! Don't, Ace! Don't fall asleep!
You feel warm. So comfortable. I think I'll have a nice dream. Ace's eyelids drooped further and further. almost as though he were dying. Ace with the voice of Solid Snake. Wow. Really? That's Solid Snake's voice? I never played any of the Metal Gear Solid games, so I probably should. Sometime soon. Ace! Ace! She shook his shoulder again and again, but this time he didn't respond. Only the gentle rising and falling of his chest told them he was alive. Junpei was relieved to see he was, in fact, still breathing. He lifted Ace up off the floor and laid him on the bed he'd been leaning against. When Junpei returned around, Lotus gave him a look of pity.
Well, we really don't have a choice now. We can't let a sacrifice go to waste. Right?
She wasn't feeling any remorse. Junpei was sure of that. The mole and some sort of beard makes me think Solid Snake was like an influence on him. Very possible. Also, one of the characters here is called Snake, and there's a part where they yell his name repeatedly, so you know, it could be an Easter egg or a reference. Still, he held no grounds upon which to oppose her. It felt wrong, but he had to agree. Then suddenly, Santa spoke. Yeah, but we're not done choosing yet, are we?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, we haven't decided who's going in what door.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
Well, enough of this screwing around. Let's decide. You first, Lotus. Which door do you want?
I want door number 8. It's the same number as my bracelet number.
Got it. You're 8. You're next, 7. Which one do you want? I'll take 7. I can get along with that old lady.
What? What did you just say?
Her face distorted by rage, Lotus took a step towards 7. He threw up his hands and made a face like a child caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
You're going to get it next time.
She shot him a glare that would have melted steel, then turned and stalked off. Alright, who's next? Santa's gaze moved across the 3 people left. Finally, they stopped on Junpei. Junpei, which door do you want? At last. Junpei's mind was already made up. Okay, we'll start by first saving and backing up the save. And then I'll check last chance to vote. Right after I back up the save. No, I would not like to quit. Okay, now guys, just give me a second to find the save. There you go. For some reason there are a bunch of saves. Where are these dates? Or, hold on. What's today? Today is the 29th. Why is there no save from the 29th? Shit. That's interesting. Lotus glares, melt steel beams. Okay, I'm just gonna make a backup of all of the saves, I guess. Just to be sure. Yeah, there are 3 different files, 3 different save files for 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. None of them are from today, which is kind of weird. In the save slot folder, in the no cache GBA. Oops, shit, that's not what I meant to do. God damn it, okay. Okay. Alright, okay, made a backup. Now, okay, let's see what's going on with the straw poll. And, wow, all votes for 7. 5 votes unanimously go for 7. Okay. That's it. Oh, oh, there's an option for door 3, but I guess we can't go because there's no possible combination. Okay, then. I think so, right? Well, I just saved. Let's just make sure. I'm just making sure. I'll load in a second, though. I want to go through door number 3. No. You can't. Huh? Why? Because it's impossible. If we split ourselves into 3 and 3, then we give up on going through door 3. Why? The rest of the numbers for the 6 of us are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is a combination? There are 2 combinations that could go through door 3 with 3 people. 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7, 8. That's it. Of course, 2 teams can't go through the same door. I see. That means one team would get left behind. That's right. That doesn't happen if we go through door 7 or 8? Nope, they're fine. Oh, I see. We've got 3 options. Santa began to explain. Plan A. Go through door 7 with 3, 5, 8, and go through door 8 with 4, 6, 7. Plan B. Go through door 7 with 4, 5, 7, and go through door 8 with 3, 6, 8. Plan C. Go through door 7. Oh, whatever. Okay, fine. We get there. A bunch of different plans. Those are the only 3 options. That's it. At least if we want to get all 6 of us out of here. That was when Junpei realized. Plan A divides into 2 teams. Yes, Plan T divides into 2 teams. Plan C divides into 2 teams. Yeah, okay. There was one thing they all had in common. In every single combination, 5 and 6 were never on the same team. In other words, if all 6 people were to move forward, Junpei and Jun would be separated. Jun and Junpei had been friends when they were kids. He trusted her more than anyone else on the ship. If he chose 7 or 8, he'd be taken away from her. Was that something he was prepared to do? Well, apparently he doesn't have a choice, right? Anyway, that's the deal, so think it over. You've got 2 choices, 7 or 8. You can't choose 3. If you choose 3, you're gonna be leaving 3 people behind to die. So, what are you gonna do? 7 or 8, time to choose. Well, Junpei thought hard, and we got to the decision that we want number... Take risk and choose... Oh, I can actually choose door 3? Wow, that's evil. I mean, sorta, I guess. Should have let you guys choose, but anyway. Okay, let's do 7. Guess it's the right thing to do. Best canon ending and such. Okay, fine. I'll go with door 7. Okay, so 7. Yeah. Alright then, that means Jun's gonna go through 8.
Huh? Why?
Jun's face was blank and confused. Senna muttered to himself. It is indeed evil? Well, we come back at the end, but I guess it wouldn't go very nicely. It probably leads to one of the bad endings, because I'm kind of an asshole for choosing that. Senna muttered to himself and turned to Junpei. Junpei, you figured it out, right? Can you explain to her? Junpei chose his words carefully. When Junpei finally finished, Jun looked as though she was about to cry. Basically, the explanation is math.
Oh no. You're saying we aren't going to see each other again for a long time.
Junpei felt just as Jun did. He wanted to be at her side through whatever trials they were preparing to face. But he knew if they were to survive, he had to swallow his feelings. In order for the 6 of them to move forward, he and Jun had to be separated. He looked at Jun. He was scared to lose her, but he swallowed, steeled his resolve, and did his best to smile. Hey, come on, you're making it sound like we're never gonna see each other again. We gotta split up, but only for a while. This is just like when we were meant to go into the 4 and 5 doors, remember? We got split up then too, but we all met back up? That's a mistake. That never happened, actually. That's a mistake from the wrong playthrough. Okay, I hope this means that this doesn't mean I fucked up or anything. Because we didn't split up. Well, but 7 and 8 are just like that. Or means the both groups were separated. Oh.
You mean they're connected somehow?
Yeah, probably.
Probably?
She didn't sound very hopeful. It was 7 that interjected. I'm sure they're gonna connect somewhere.
Why? What makes you think so?
If they don't connect, neither team can get through door 9. In other words, the game would end right here. Zero's been on top of his shit so far. I don't think he'd blow it now. I'm damn sure that son of a bitch wants to have his fun as long as possible. He's not gonna end this game until we get through the 9 door. Jun said nothing. The tears were gone, but her eyes were still sad as they looked at Junpei. He met them, and with that reassurance he could manage, with what reassurance he could manage, laid his hand gently on her shoulder. I have a map of like one level of the ship. I have a map of one level of the ship, not all of the decks, and I don't have a map of this deck. Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna see each other again, I promise. June bit her lip and gave him an almost imperceptible nod. Yes. Whoa, what's going on? Okay, for some reason okay, I guess it's fine now. Yes. Promise? Her voice was barely above a whisper. Santa's voice shuddered the moment. You guys are done, right? We'll bang later, June, okay? Yeah, keep a lock on those panties. He stretched and continued. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Clover and I will both go into separate groups. I figure I'll take 8 and Clover can take 7. Any problems with that, Clover? Clover looked away and was silent for a moment.
Whatever!
It was more of a dismissal than an agreement, but Santa didn't seem to care. Alright, we're ready to go then. Let's move. At Santa's command, the group split and headed for their respective doors. Clover 7 and Junpei walked toward door 7. Santa, Lotus, and June headed for door 8. For a long moment, they stood in front of the door. 7 took a deep breath. You guys ready? Yeah.
Yes!
Okay, let's go. The door had opened. A narrow hallway stretched out before them. 7 and Clover leapt through the door. The moment they did, their bracelets beeped. The detonaries on the bracelets had been activated. Junpei stepped forward to follow them. But as he was about to step over the threshold, he stopped. He looked to his right, toward door 8. June stood there, a mirror image of Junpei. She turned and looked toward him. Their eyes met. They nodded. The farewell took almost 1.5 seconds. Then someone took a hold of Junpei's arms and hauled him bodily through the door. He heard the sound of the numbered door slam shut behind him. His bracelet gave a cold electronic beep. Only 81 seconds left! No time to waste, guys! Oh, hey Toomby. Long time. You've been gone for a long time from my streams. It's good to have you back. Let's get moving. 7 led the way down the hallway. Junpei and Clover followed him as fast as they could. Yeah, I did start over, Toomby. This is the second playthrough. Last time we did the ending that unlocked the best ending for us. And now I guess we're going towards the... We've been busy with school. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you can always watch the replays on Twitch or YouTube if you wanna, and you're welcome to stick with us right now. After what seems like far more than 81 seconds, they reached the end of the hall. To the left of a wooden door, they found the dead. There was no time to rest or catch their breath. All three slammed their hands in quick succession over the scanner panel on the dead. Awesome. Still trying to catch his breath, 7 leaned heavily against the wall. Hey, stop. How did safe ending go? Did they reveal some major shit? They revealed some shit, but they it really like brought up more questions than answers. That Clover panting, yeah. I could tell you, Toomby, if you want, or someone else, but I can recap it too. If you don't know what's happening, I don't remember if you played this game before or not. It stopped. His smile seemed forced and a little crooked. This is the second time we've gone through one of these number doors, but phew, you never really get used to it. Safe ending is like the biggest tease. It really is. He stood up straight, no longer out of breath, and wiped some of the sweat from his head and neck. Clover smirked at him.
I would have thought a guy your size would have bigger balls than that!
Oh shit! Wow, it really is a different game. What? What the fuck did you just say? Say it again. I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker.
You have no...
You wanna die?
I'd like to see you try!
You fucking brat. Alright, let's go. Hey, calm down, guys. This isn't the time for, this. It's not gonna do us any good. Huh. Gosh. Junpei sighed. Sometimes he wondered if the doors and the puzzles were really the greatest challenge they faced. Wait here for a minute, alright? I'm gonna see if there's any other doors. They didn't respond, but Junpei wasn't in the mood for conversation anyway. First, he examined the inner part of the numbered door. It was, of course, shut tight. 7 is Samuel Jackson, confirmed. Yep. On the left was a single short hallway that terminated almost immediately at a thick iron wall. Junpei doubted the wall could be moved. At last he gave up and returned to 7 and was tapping lightly on the wooden door. This door's the only option we got, right? Yeah, looks like it. There was a metal plaque bolted above the door. It read, Operating Room. If it was to be believed, the room on the other side of the door was an operating room. Something about it made Junpei feel nervous. Well, there's no point in standing around. Might as well go in and see what's waiting for us. 7 grabbed the brass knob and slowly opened the door. The creak of the hinge sounded like the groan of an old woman. A chill snaked its way down Junpei's spine. Quickly, he gathered what courage he could and took the first step into the room. 7 followed, with Clover right behind him. Part of the room just past the door was obscured by a screen. Clover's curiosity got the better of her, and she darted past Junpei to peer around the screen. Thought 7 would look less weird without a black line drawn around his mouth. That was incorrect. Oh, that's pretty funny, actually. Gotta admit.
Yeah!
Her scream nearly blew out Junpei's eardrums. He and 7 ran towards Clover to see what I'd find in her. They ran on the screen, and the cause of her outburst was immediately clear. What the hell is this? Is that a corpse? It was something that looked kind of like a human lying across some sort of bed. No, not a bed. An operating table. The table sat on a rusty steel lift, and a cluster of bright operating lights shone down on it from the ceiling. Yeah, sending that to Jodman to enjoy too. A cluster of bright operating. Slowly they approached. Oh shit! What the fuck? When they got closer to the body, it became clear that it wasn't a body at all. RT, that black line is his nigga lips. You know he's black. Yeah, well, gone now. What the hell? That's just a huge doll or something.
A doll?
Clover did not look terribly comforted. Slowly, she approached the operating table and looked, as intently as possible, from as far away as possible, at the thing. So it looks really drawn. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Jode. Raptor Turkey from 60 Heroes thought that 7 would look less weird without the black lines drawn around his mouth, but apparently he was mistaken. Junpei could see her relax.
You're right. It's only a doll. Man, it really scared me.
She heaved a great sigh of relief and wiped a few drops of sweat from her forehead. 7 smirked. Well, I guess it would have been weird if you actually had any balls.
Shut it! Don't you start with me, fatty!
Oh, what's this? You want a piece of me, short stuff?
Yeah, on, you whale!
Hey, guys, not again, okay? Seriously, knock it off. Huh. Junpei sighed and shook his head. Anyway, it looks like he's got something in the two of you could stand to have a little more of. Talking about a heart. Oh. Huh? Oh, this? You mean on his chest? Yeah. It's weird that her personality changed so abruptly. Yeah, I know! Exactly. It is weird. Well, it was the same with June, with the last room. Like, it's a completely different thing, depending on which door you take. It's really weird. Like, when we chose the other room, we were also with Clover, and she was really, like... Well, she was also trapped somewhere behind a door, but it was very, like, quiet and stuff. It's bad writing, if you ask me. I guess you can look at it like that. Maybe we'll find out why she's bursting out so much, though. And then it's good writing. It was still a little higher than normal for a human body, but from the shape of the organ, there could be no doubt that it was a heart.
Why would there be a heart in a doll?
I don't think it's a doll.
You think maybe it's like a medical mannequin or something?
Maybe it's got more personal uses. Wow, this game, Seven's Grin, was more than a little perverted. It's like the last playthrough was PG-13. This is like I don't know, N17 or whatever. Clover glared at him. Anyway, how about we take a look around this place? Could be they're also putting the interpersonal chemistry into action because people act differently around different people. That's also possible. 7U. Let's have a look around this place. Let's go.
Okay.
Sure thing. Why you gotta do that, Moose? What's wrong? What's the matter? Who hurt you, baby? Seek a way out. Whether it be lewd scenes, well, we're just gonna have to find out, won't we, Disciple? Okay, let's start by looking around.
Hey! I wonder what this thing is. It says KG on the display.
You think maybe it's a scale? Huh? There's some sort of lid on this thing.
Why don't you try opening it?
Don't think you ever did this puzzle. Oh, I would definitely remember this weird room. Well, welcome to the club. Can't get under with my nails either. Okay, so we need something to open it then.
These dolls are really kind of creepy, you know?
Hey, it's just something here. John?
You think that's the doll's name?
Maybe?
This thing is creepy. I wonder
why it's on the bed. Let's look at it. A creepy medical mannequin is lying on the bed. Apparently his name is John. Okay. Anything with the bed?
an operating table.
John Cena. I'd click on the chat if I could, but it doesn't work for me for some reason.
Do you think old operating tables look like this?
I have no idea. Would be funny if the plate would have just said the champ. Okay, I think that's it for here. For some reason we can't look. Where else do we have? Can we look directly on the... Oh, this is a big room. Okay, what's this? Oh. So you got kosher forceps? I don't know. Kosher forceps? Raptor. Just a Japanese guy masquerading as a black guy. He was hiding his Japaneseness by trying on Nig lips. Okay, what else do we have here? A bunch of surgical tools. Anything else that can interest us here? Guess not. Just a kosher forceps. Yep, for Jewish docs. Okay, what's that? Oh, what the fuck? This is getting weirder by the second. Some kind of device attached to the bed. It says KG on the panel. Is this a scale? This bed doesn't look very comfortable. What? That's what you're talking about?
Another medical mannequin?
From the looks of it, this one's a chick.
She has a name too.
The champ. Lucy. Poor thing. Looks like Miss Lucy only had a head and an arm left.
Maybe we're supposed to gather all her parts.
Maybe, I guess that's an option. Why am I covering her up? What's this thing? It's got these short iron legs.
Maybe it's a heater.
There's nothing inside it. Pipes?
There's a pipe going outside.
Gee, thanks, Clover. Thank you so much. Yeah, whatever. Hey, I know. Let's go through that pipe and escape.
Are you nuts? What the hell is wrong with you? Junpei, are you flexible like an octopus or something?
Okay, I guess not, bitch. What's all this? There are a whole bunch of bottles on the shelves. They all look like medicine. They've got labels, but they're all big medical words that I don't understand. Okay. A lot of different kinds of medication, it's hard to tell them apart.
The drawer is empty.
Yeah, nothing there. Okay, what's this? A fake chest? Wow, this is super creepy and weird. What else do we have here?
Maybe you're supposed to heat something like that gauze to kill the bacteria. There's a bowling thingy over there.
There's nothing on the lid or in the drawers. That would be super useful. What are you talking about? The medical dude? What? Thing for boiling tools to sterilize them. There's nothing in the drawer. Okay. Next. Okay, that's nothing. Oh, I can go outside, I guess. Wait, before that, let's finish here inside. Oh. What was that, a scalpel? Kosher scalpel? Ace? Oh, I guess, but he, on purpose, he took himself out of the equation. Reminds me of the Silent Hill 2 mannequins. I never played Silent Hill 2 because I'm a scared little pussy. No problem admitting it.
None of this other stuff looks useful.
Yeah, it's all pretty rusty. Okay. What's this then? Super creepy. Medical mannequin with its guts showing.
Ew! Gross!
Hey, Junpei. There's a slit in this thing's chest. Yeah, sure is. There's something in there. Maybe we can get it out. Ugh. Damn it. Sticking thing won't budge. It's stuck. Well, I guess you can't use force on this one then. We need something small that can fit into that little hole. Yeah, jokes are welcome. I don't have anything like that. I don't think the scalpel would work, right? See, this thing's internal organs. If we had something that could fit into those cracks, maybe we could take it out. We could take out some kind of internal organs. Okay, I guess this isn't it. And the scalpel, the forceps probably... Oh! Okay, that works, I guess. Use your dick, yeah, of course. One of the organs is missing. The organ is...
Organ?
Really, Clover? I expected more from you.
Oh, like you could do better.
Yep, that's what I did. Use the forceps. Okay, awesome. So I guess that's it. Wonder if I can use the fake organ with the chest. The cavity over there. Nope, guess not. Okay. Oh, you watched it? Let's play. Oh, well, that's a little more than I'm willing to do. Oh, because that's it inside. Let's go outside and see what's up. Oh, 2 doors. It's over there.
Junpei, where are you going?
It's always the worst puzzle to get you, Will. The door that's the door we came through.
The only thing out there is the number door.
I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell you that number door is a one-way deal, so... You're saying there's no point to going back there, huh? And they're nodding. Awesome. Okay, what about this? Looks like it's locked. Guess we're gonna need a key for this one. Okay. Over here. It's locked.
We could probably find the key if we just look some more. Let's look somewhere else.
Okay then. Wait, can I use... It's weird that I can't take out the heart or anything, but can I use the scalpel to take out the heart? John is just lying there. Nope. What about if I connect the chest to her? Lucy's head and left arm are sitting on the bed. Maybe something will happen if we gather all her body parts. I guess we gotta gather them all first. Old hard bed. Huh, well I'm kinda stumped, I gotta say. Let's have a look at some of these.
Ew, that's gross.
This is the chest. It's a woman's chest. Heart's gone, but it's pretty hot.
If that kind of thing turns you on, Seven, you're a real creepo.
Okay. You coming?
So we took the organ thingy out of the chest thingy.
It's a lung, not an organ thingy. John Doe with an RKO.
Huh? This part here on the back, it's all rubbery.
You're right. So, it's a fake organ, of course it'd be... Wait, what's Seven grabbing it for? Hey, it feels like there's something in here.
You think we can cut through the rubber part?
Well, let's check it out. Let's try cutting this organ with a scalpel. Oh, an organ key. Nice, let's try it on one of the doors, I guess. Awesome, it's unlocked. Ooh, shit. Getting creepier by the second. Oh shit, another code. What's this? Blue liquid and a red liquid, of course. And before surprise, it's a real lung. I don't think so, because it's rubbery. There's an on top of the table. Iron 1, salt 2, water 3. Carbon dioxide, I don't know, ammonia, ethanol.
What do you think this is a hint for?
Maybe it's got something to do with this box? Probably, but the box is locked. Looks like you have to enter a passcode on the keypad to open it. You can only enter 3 numbers. E is for enter and C is clear. Once you input the number, press C. Yeah. Let's give it a shot. Well, no, we don't know anything. Don't know what it could be, so no. Let's keep looking around.
Hey, Junpei, you think there are any slugs on the ship?
Huh?
Well, if there are, I was thinking we could put salt on them.
Think compounds. I never studied chemistry. They don't have the best school systems here. I never ever studied chemistry. So I don't know shit about compounds or table of elements or anything like that. What's she pointing at? Label states NaCl. Salt, huh?
Do you think Seville would shrivel up if we put it on him?
Hey, you see some... Okay, so can I grab it or what? There's a ball of salt on the shelf. The label says NaCl. Okay, yeah, so iron is just an element, so that's 1. Okay. What else is here?
Junpei, there's a ball of iron powder on the shelf.
How do you know it's iron?
The label says Fe. Fe stands for iron, right?
I guess so. NaCl, Na is sodium, and Cn is chloride.
So salt is made up of 1 sodium atom and 1 chloride atom.
Wait, and what did that say again? Fucking know we're talking about for San Andreas, they're just swapping my mouth. Well, obviously. Good golf, what were you expecting? Water is H2O, 3 atoms. Salt is NaCl, 2 atoms. Okay. So we need 1, is that possible? Like 3 molecules of water, 2 molecules? No. No, that's probably, okay, we got iron, we got salt, now we need water. Water is 3. Carbon dioxide, ammonia, and ethanol. So I don't know what that means. Maybe a question mark represents a number. Well, obviously, but okay.
Huh? Something stinks.
Is it coming from this bottle? It says NH3. Well, that of course stinks. It's ammonia. Okay, so I got ammonia. Oh, good stuff. Let's go for a drink. What are you talking about? I'm talking about that bottle. What would be 3 since it's comprised of 3 atoms? And iron is an element, so it's 1 atom. And oh, okay, so it's okay. So the number is the number of atoms. I see. Okay, now I get it. Carbon dioxide should be 3, 2. Yeah. Okay. Well, we still need to figure out what elements we need for elements or compounds we need for the chest thing. It says C2H50H, right? It's ethanol. So wait, C2H50H, that's 6 molecules for ethanol. That's right. It's also known as ethyl alcohol. It's pretty much what booze is made of. Yeah, but isn't it like 100% concentration? So you're gonna drink it? Nah, I won't. It might say that's what it is on the label, but there could be anything in there, I guess. Here. Hey, Junpei. Well, 7 in the dark is probably the 3 compounds that were unknown on the note, I guess. But let's look around some more, see if is there atomic structure of phospholipids. I have no idea what that is. Hey, Junpei. There's dihydrogen monoxide on the shelf. Why don't you just say water? Oh my god. Okay, so there's water there. What's this? Looks like a can with a spray nozzle. It says CO2. So it's a can filled with carbon dioxide. Okay, yeah, I guess a rectangular table. I wonder, did people mix medicine on this thing? So, okay, so where were we again? Carbon dioxide is 3. Ammonia is, I don't remember. What was ammonia? I'll check in a second. And ethanol is 6. Oh, what numbers can go after? Okay. So what was that again? Ammonia is 3, so they're both 3. Okay. Oh shit, what's the order though? Shit, I forgot. Oh, H3. Oh, never mind. I didn't think that the numbers mean right. I forgot the numbers mean math. So wait, CO2 is 3. Ammonia is 4 because they're N, and then 3 H's. And C2H50H is, hold on, so it's 8? I think it's 8. Hold on. Let me check. Okay, so let's try 3, 4, 8 and see if it works. No. 4, 8, 3. No! God damn it. 4, 8. No. 3. God damn, what was it again? Hold on. Okay, so it's 3, 3, 8, 4, I think. Or 3, 4, 8. No, shit. I'm bad at science. I'm just bad at science, I'm sorry. 3, 8, 4. No. 3, 4, 8. Oops. 3, 4, 8. Maybe it's not it? Hold on. Let's look at this list again. Again, so carbon dioxide is 3, because it's CO2. Well, Jodman, at least you had chemistry class. I don't even have that. I never ever studied chemistry. Like, nobody ever taught it to me. Maybe it has to do with reactions or something. Maybe, yeah, it's kind of odd that there aren't any more hints. Maybe you can go to the other room. Maybe the key will open that and there'll be more hints there. After carbon dioxide, ammonia, and ethanol, whatever. I don't know how these chemicals will interact though. That seems like it'd be way too complex for a game like this. Yeah, unless they tell us something. Wait, let's look at this again. C2H5. Oh, H. Wouldn't that be 9 though? Because of 2 C's, 5 H's, that's 7. And then 1 O and 1 H. Like 1 oxygen and 1 hydrogen, I guess? So it should be 9. Hydrogen, O is oxygen. 2 carbon atoms, 6 hydrogen atoms. Yeah, and 1 oxygen atom. Okay, whatever. So it is 9. So what was it? 3. Let's try 3, 4, 9. 3, 4, 9. Oh, we got it. Also, we got a fake heart and a fake right arm. Let's look at them to see if they have something in them too.
It's the right arm of the body. It's kind of creepy.
Guess not. And in the heart, anything?
heart. This thing is super creepy.
This ain't good for the heart. Oh, that was a joke. I thought it was whatever. Let's try. Oh, I can't. Whatever. Okay, let's go to the next room. See if we can open it now. Oh,
You think we should go back?
yeah, I think that's probably best. Clover nodded and left. Junpei was about to follow her when he realized that Seven wasn't following suit. Hey Seven, what's up? Oh, well. It was a hearty joke, yeah. He looked up at Junpei distractedly, and then back down at the bottle he held the cup to his large hands. What's that? In response, Seven tossed the bottle gently to Junpei. He caught it and twisted it around to read the label. Ethylene diamine tartrate? EDT. It's tartaric ethylnadiamine. Okay. What kind of medicine is that? It's not medicine. I think it's an industrial strength detergent. Why would they have something like that here? Well, probably to clean stuff up. Clean what up? Fuck if I know. Still. It's really weird when this game decides to curse and when it doesn't. Or when it decides not to. Looks like it's cleaned my brain up. Junpei looked up from the bottle. What do you mean? You remember something? Seven nodded slowly and spoke. Well, I remember a story about EDT. Happened about 50 years ago. There was this factory somewhere in America making big old EDT crystals. They were making it to sell as industrial strength cleaner like I told you before. But a year after the factory started up, something strange started happening with the crystals they were building. Water molecules started attaching themselves to EDT crystals. This made it into a sort of mutation of the original crystals called the hydrate. Once the crystal turned into a hydrate though, it's useless as a cleaner. The factory had just dumped the crystals as a hydrate. They were useless. But it didn't end there. After that day, the same thing started happening on EDT factories everywhere. Even ones nowhere near the first American factory. Yeah, we had a similar story, didn't we? About crystallization of glycol or glycine or glycerin or something like that. They were making crystals the same way, with the same materials and the same equipment and environment. But now, all of a sudden, every single crystal they formed turned into a hydrate. In fact, ever since that day, no factory anywhere has been able to make a pure EDT crystal. Even in EDT research done years before, they never got a hydrate. But after it happened, the first factory, it just spread. It was like, man, how do you say it? Like the molecules were communicating with one another. It's a running theme in this game of like communicating in invisible ways or in or something like that. Kind of like an invisible, sort of like the internet, I guess, but more like between elements or between animals or between people even. It's a recurring theme and I don't really realize why yet. I hope they talk about that in the end, or maybe it's just to freak us out. Transmitting information in a way humans couldn't perceive. Yeah, a motif, I guess. It's a motif. This phenomena spread throughout the world, right? Junpei looked up at Seven with half a smirk. Seven stared at him, dumbfounded. Yeah, that's it, exactly. But how'd you know? I heard another story kind of like that one. When? In the freezer. What? The freezer? Or what chemicals should post? What chemicals should post about on their internet? Oh, that would be amazing. I would love to see the chemical equivalent of 4chan or whatever. In morphogenetic fields, exactly, gentlemen. I think morphogenetic is for humans, though. I'm not sure if it goes the same way for crystals and elements and stuff. Silicon falls out of my electron cloud. Helium as fuck. Junpei told Seven the story he'd heard from June in the freezer in the kitchen. How one day glycerin began to crystallize, and the story of the ice that wouldn't melt at room temperature. When Junpei was done, Seven looked thoughtful and absentmindedly rubbed the scar on his chin. Ice that doesn't melt at room temperature, huh? That sound familiar? Yeah, hold up. I feel like I can remember something. It's right there. Seven squinted. His eyes stared off into space, as if he were trying desperately to focus on something far away. Do you... I think I should say Ice 9. Maybe that'll make you remember. I'll take this option to save because the last couple of times the game has been freezing and weird. According to Wikipedia, a morphogenetic field is a group of cells able to respond to discrete, localized biochemical signals leading to the development of specific morphological structures or organs. Damn. Okay, Ice 9. Do you know about Ice 9? Ice 9. Ice 9. Ice baby. Suddenly, Seven's eyes shot open. That's it! I remember now. That woman, she's on this boat. Oh shit, that woman? Alice. What? Who's Alice? Come on, that woman who won't melt at room temperature. So, Lotus is Alice. Okay, this is new information. We didn't know about this last time. Huh? It became clear to Seven that Junpei had no idea what he was talking about. He ran his hand across his face and took a deep breath. You know that the Titanic sank on April 15th, 1912, right? Yeah. More than 1,500 people died. Worst maritime accident in history. What about it? Did you hear about the boat that was sent to collect the dead bodies? I think that was the RMS Carpathia, right? Because everybody knows that. Just general information, general trivia. 50 Cent and Ice 9 dropping their new album, son. What about the mutual Ice-T and Ice 9's mutual son, Ice-T 9? It was a cruise liner just like the Titanic. Nope. That was the ship that picked up the survivors. The ship that collected the dead bodies was the CS Mackay Bennett. Mackay Bennett showed up on April 17th, 2 days after the accident. It set up from Halifax, a port in Canada. I was in Halifax. And recovered 306 bodies. Yeah, exactly, Joe. The Atlantic that far north was really cold. It would have to be for there to be icebergs and stuff. Anyways, the bodies they pulled out of the water were frozen solid. This isn't a very nice story. So what happened next? Well, they say that the Mackay Bennett recovered something more than just dead bodies. There were various bits of stuff floating around the water. Things the drowned had carried with them, or stuff dislodged as the ship sank. The names are all fucked up. What are you talking about, Strom? Also, hi, Strom. Populus. Or Strombopoulos. One of the things they found was a coffin. A coffin? Yeah. A wooden one. Hey, that kind of looks like the coffin in the last room, in the church-like room, where Snake is hidden. That's weird. Oh, you mean in the names? Yeah, Stormfax didn't change everybody's name. Strom. The craftsman who made it must have been pretty skilled. It wasn't just a wooden coffin, it was all wood. There were no nails or reinforcements, and there was no gaps in the wood anywhere. It was airtight. The crew got pretty curious about what might be inside it, and opened it up. They had to get a wedge and hammer it open. It was so well made. Inside, they found a woman, or a geese. Hey, yeah, someone else told us about this too, that supposedly there was a mummified Egyptian princess or something, I guess, that was perfectly preserved. Yeah, I think Jordan told us about that too. They found a woman, or I guess you should say they found the dead body of a woman. Her hair was thick and black, her skin was deep brown, she didn't show any signs of age or decomposition. They say she looked gorgeous, like a goddess. She was obviously dead, but everyone who looked at her said she looked like she was sleeping. Her skin was so lifelike, she looked like she might wake up any minute. She didn't though. Like the rest of the bodies they found, she was frozen solid. Yeah, it was about a curse. That they were transferring her on the Titanic, and like something happened to her that she remained completely lifelike, even though she was dead for like hundreds of years or something, at least. Eventually, the Mackay Bennett finished the search and returned to Halifax. The 306 bodies were unloaded and taken ashore. However, it was warm enough that they began to melt. They say that the stink was horrible. But there was a body that didn't thaw. The girl in the coffin. That's right. Everybody thought for sure that she'd melt and start rot like the rest of them eventually. But weeks passed and nothing happened. Then a month had passed and another, and it was summer, and she was still frozen solid. After a while, people started to say she was some sort of a miracle. I'm guessing this part is false though, if the story is real. Rumors about the girl started to spread, and people came to visit Halifax from all over. After a while, people started to call her All Ice. Alice. Of course, those rumors didn't last long. Why? Well, she up and disappeared. One day, Alice was there, the next day she won. They say someone snuck into where they were keeping her and stole the body, well obviously. With the body gone, the rumors followed pretty quick. After a while, no one remembered her. You might be able to find something about her if you could find a newspaper from back then. That's about it. Wait, you just said that she was on this boat. Yeah, I did. Alice has got to be somewhere on this ship. Now why the hell would you say something like that? 'Cause I know. And just what it is you know. What happened to Alice after she was stolen? Junpei gulped. Alright, tell me. What happened to Alice? Seven nodded slowly, and took on the look of a man recalling something long buried. Well, around that time, the word was that there was a thriving black market in New York. I mean, I'm sure there still is, but this was special. All millionaires from all over the world. I've heard that Alice went up for an auction there. The person who won the auction was Lord Dashiell Gordain. You've heard that name before, right? Sir Gordain. Isn't he the guy who brought the Gigantic, the Titanic's sister ship? Which might be this very boat? Yeah, that's him. Although I guess he hadn't done that yet. What do you mean? Gordain bought Alice in 1912. Then, 4 years later in 1916, he bought the Gigantic. How does he know so much about this? And he hid Alice somewhere on the Gigantic. But nobody knows where. He died in 1931. And apparently, he died without ever telling anyone where Alice was in. However what? Well, he did have one close friend who asked him, "Where's Alice?" For you. And he said, Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the Forest of Knowledge, beneath the navel of the Gigantic. What the hell is that? Some kind of riddle? Well, I'm pretty sure that Alice's coffin is the same coffin in the where the number 9 doors are, so we'll see. Your guess is as good as mine. Seven threw his hands up in defeat. So that's it. Whatever you think, I believe it. She's in somewhere on the Gigantic. In other words, she's in somewhere on this ship. Before Junpei could dispute Seven's rather bizarre claim. Seven's just a Japanese guy. They heard Clover's voice from the door. She did not sound pleased.
Hey! What are you two doing over there? Stop wasting time and get over here!
Okay, we coming.
Ah!
Seven looked at Junpei. Yeah, so anyway, that's the story. It might be useful someday. Don't forget it. With that cryptic remark, he turned and left the room. Junpei was left behind to ponder what he just heard. He tried to remember what June had told him earlier.
That mummy wasn't just a normal mummy. They say that she was frozen. The story that says that from the time of its discovery all the way through to when it got put on the Titanic, and even though it was carried through the desert, her body never melted.
Oh, hey, Augrest. What's up, man? Was that Egyptian priestess Alice? Had the water in her body become Ice 9? Oh, never thought of that. Huh, that might somehow work. I don't know, though. No, that's nuts. There's no way somebody like that could exist. Junpei shook his head, trying desperately to clear it, and followed Seven to the operating room where Clover was waiting. Okay, let's try the second door then. Ah, it's still locked. Okay, well, let's see if we got all the pieces for the body. Okay. Lucy's head and left arm are sitting on the bed. Maybe something will happen if we gather all our body parts. What? But I thought we already have all our body parts. We can combine the fake right arm with the fake chest? No. Damn it. Blue liquid, red liquid. What can we do with the liquids? The fake red ball sack into the chest. I tried, it won't work. Nothing. Let's check the liquids though. Use on door. I tried to. It wouldn't work. I mean, it was here. Nothing here, right? I don't see anything else here. We opened the box. Tried the other door and it wouldn't work. Take heart, put in butt. It's locked, but what? But nothing, I guess. Oh, maybe I wasn't on the organ key. Okay. Okay, my bad. My bad. Wasn't equipped. Either two-party epoxy or literally anything else. Wow, thanks. Cool, it's unlocked. Huh, hooks. I think you hang your coat there. Here. There's a bunch of hooks. Okay. Let's see if... piece of paper. What's this? Is this some kind of medical record? New material has been added to the file screen. Let's check it out. Medical record. Oh, okay, John and Lucy. So I guess... Wait, Lucy has numbers over, like, round numbers. Ranging from 1 to 9? Or am I... No, ranging from 1 to 6. Anyway, I guess we need to make them both weigh the same or something, probably. Somehow. But I'm bad at math, so we'll just keep trying until we get something. Okay. Huh. What the hell are you doing? Don't you want to get out of here?
But I'm tired!
Fuck off. Huh.
I found a beaker!
Ooh, a lightsaber.
The white light on the top is glowing!
Yeah, but the red, blue, and purple ones still aren't lit. Huh. Okay, I'll probably need to use the liquids here, but I don't know how exactly yet, so let's see. Oh, what's over here? A sink. Doctors and nurses probably wash their hands here before an operation. Nothing suspicious here.
Huh. It went up.
Oh, they probably opened the doors, okay.
It looks like it's locked. There's a red plate on it. Do you think that means something?
Then blue liquid. Yeah, well, we'll have to separate them somehow, but... Okay, red liquid. There we go.
Hey! It turned red!
Forget about that. Did you hear that just now? Yes, I did. Oh, what? Come on. Oh, maybe it unlocked completely. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. So we got the leg. Fake right leg. Yeah, red and blue make purple. No, I didn't know the it would drain, though. Oh, shit. Oh, come on. Okay, blue liquid. Unlock that shit.
It's blue now!
I think I heard another noise. Okay. And the left leg. Okay, what's behind the purple door? And dread. And that's it. That's all the liquid, I think. I get it. You combine the red liquid and the blue liquid to make a purple one.
Good job, Junpei! The purple light came on, and I heard it unlock! I'm sure it's unlocked! The locker with the purple plate has gotta be unlocked!
Could you say that again, please? Alright, let's see what happens. Okay. Drain those. Is that oh, it's a stomach. I thought it was a nose. My first thought was it was a giant nose. It kind of looks like it, doesn't it? Okay, whatever. Giant nose. What downgrade and puzzle complexity? Definitely, it's really weird, this game. Okay, what's in the door? It's locked. It won't even budge.
Do you think this is the exit?
Could be, but let's try the key if we still got it. Which I think we don't. No, we don't. Okay. So, back. From chemistry to colors. Yep. Oh, sorry. Over here, over here, over here. Okay, now let's give this a shot. Okay. So we've built the 6 parts of the medical mannequin. So the ones we've got must be for Lucy, right?
Yeah!
Seems like it. Well, I say we give Lucy her parts back. Any objections?
Nope!
Agreed. Alright, let's get started. Combine! Oh, good job. You just said it and it happens. It happened.
Hey! Nothing happened!
That's odd. Maybe it's the wrong weight. Oh, maybe it's the wrong weight?
Wait!
Yeah, well, you know how there's a scale on the side of the bed? Maybe we need to get the scale to a specific number. How are we gonna do that? I think we're supposed to swap her body parts with John's.
Oh!
Let's give it a shot. Operating instructions. The screen below displays 2 medical mannequins. You can switch their body parts by touching the part you want to switch out, and then the part you want to switch in. Okay, so the only thing I can't switch is okay, the head and the left arm for some odd reason. Okay, I guess we'll just... I guess I want them to be the same. Okay, well that helped. That also helped. Let's try the heart now. No, that's too much. Why don't Seven and Clover just push the beds down? What do you mean push the beds down? Okay, now she weighs too much. Oh, so close though. Yeah, I'm just guessing right now. You guys can totally switch. Oh, I should have just switched them completely. Okay, that worked. Wasn't Lucy 53 kilograms or something? Maybe, but it's gone now. Fucking around, the best way to solve puzzles. Hey Junpei, I just heard something. It came from John's operating table. We better check it out. Okay, let's. Well, there we go. Huh? The lid on the scale. And we got the key. Hey, it opened! Oh, I get it. Must have opened because we matched John's weight to what's on the chart. I'm so smart. Oh, I get Gecko. Well, we won anyway. Jupiter key. Yeah, they gave it to us. Santa gave it to us last time because he was in this room. Okay, let's get the fuck out of here. Hey, hold on. Jumpy stopped. About to put the key into the doorknob. What's up? Where's Clover? Huh? Jumpy turned around. Clover was nowhere to be seen. Oh, now it's happening to us. She's disappearing on us. God damn it! Where the hell did she go? Okay, just hold on a minute. I'll go get her. Sure thing. Junpei left Seven at the door and headed back to the operating room. Or I guess maybe it's her turn for a deep conversation. He found her standing next to the operating table. She was staring at the mannequin. Hey Clover, what's wrong? Come on, let's get out of here. She didn't respond. If she hadn't been standing up and breathing, Junpei might have thought she was dead. What are you doing? Did you want to come back here and say goodbye to John? It wasn't the best joke, but it was something, an attempt to lighten the mood. Clover didn't laugh. She stood stock still and said nothing. Hey, Clover, can you hear me? Perhaps it was something it said, or perhaps it was something else. Here's where she talks about her brother's fake arm. No, actually, she talks about her brother's fake arm. Oh, maybe she talks about it over here too, but in the last run she talked about it someplace else. Suddenly her mouth opened, and she whispered in a dry, dead voice.
My brother might be dead!
Huh?
That's why we couldn't find him. If he's dead, I'm going to be next.
Suddenly the operating room felt very, very cold. What are you talking about? What's wrong with you? He gave her a small shake, but she still didn't respond. The silence grew heavier. Junpei. What do you want to do? Told Clover they need to probably give her the full leaf clover. I'm assuming. I'm gonna save again, just to buy some time until you guys say what you think. What do you mean could not save? What do you mean? What do you mean could not save? Oh shit! I hope this isn't a problem. Give her the clover. Yeah, that's what I thought. Would you like to override the save file? Wait, what? Oh, oops. Could not save. What the hell? This? What the fuck? Oh yeah. He didn't know why, but suddenly Junpei remembered something he'd been given earlier. I'm hitting back? Are you sure? No, I don't think so. And also, I can't save state. The emulator doesn't work well with save stating. You're hitting the wrong button? Are you sure? Like to override this save file? Yes. Oh! Wow, that was... Okay. Well, fuck me then. My bad. He reached into his pocket and dug it out. A 4-leaf clover. Santa had given to him in the second class room. He held it out to Clover, and this is what's gonna stop her from dying later on, I guess. Did you know that each leaf on the 4-leaf clover means something? Hope, faith, love, and luck. Take it. It is a good luck charm. You press the 4-leaf clover into her hand. It's not an actual 4-leaf clover, but whatever. Listen to me, Clover. No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith, and to have love. If you can remember all of those, they'll bring you good luck. Snake, I mean, your brother, he's not dead. He's alive somewhere, I'm sure of it. Because I remember finding him. You've just gotta believe in that. Clover stared at the full relief clover in her hand. You could see tears start to form at the corners of her eyes. Oh, it's laminated? Oh, could be. Doesn't look like that to me though. 4chan, yeah.
Thank you!
Her voice was tiny and broken, and as she spoke, she started to cry. She tried to hide her tears by looking at the floor, but it did little good. She was just memed. She wiped away the tears with the baggy arms of her jacket, but more quickly took their place. No matter how she tried, she couldn't stop crying. Her tears made small white circles on the floor.
Thank you!
She said it again. Then she looked up at Junpei and seemed to choke down the last of her grief. She did her best to smile. Junpei wiped an errant tear from her cheek with his thumb, and I gave her the best smile I could manage. Now come on. Seven's waiting for us at the exit. But still, she didn't move.
Wait! Before we go, there's one thing I want to ask you.
What's that?
What do you think when you hear the word experiment?
For a moment his mind froze. Then he came back to his senses and realized the word meant nothing to him, aside from the dictionary definition. What?
Oh. Huh? I guess it was just a coincidence then. I mean, that you knew about the four-leaf clover.
Experiment sexually, of course. With Clover, yeah. Look, I'm sorry, I don't want to be a jerk, but you are making less than no sense right now.
Oh, no! It's nothing. Just forget about it.
Oh, don't give me that. You really think I could just stop this? Backstabbing Ho-Ass bitch? No, she actually hasn't been, she's actually been pretty helpful last gameplay. Run, whatever. You really think I could just drop this? What is this experiment you were talking about? Yeah, you love it, don't you, Strom? Clover looked away. The four-leaf clover was still in her hand. She stared at it for a moment and then, finally, spoke.
You promise you won't tell anyone?
Cross my heart.
Really?
Really.
I can trust you, right?
Of course you can. Clover slipped the four-leaf clover into her pocket. Her eyes still red from crying, she looked up at Junpei.
Okay then, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what happened on this ship 9 years ago.
Wait. On this ship?
Yeah, this ship.
He was entirely lost. He had 1,000 questions. Interesting fact incoming. Had 1,000 questions, but it was probably best, he thought, to save them until Clover had finished.
It was an experiment to test some sort of psychic thing.
Oh, so that's what the original non-Eri game was about 9 years ago? Where Snake participated?
Communicating through these fields that you can't see.
Maybe everybody was here, except... No, they would know each other then. Fields that you can't see? He'd heard something like this before. Clover nodded.
Like, think about this.
She pointed at the operating table. On top of it was a somewhat mismatched medical mannequin whose parts had been swapped with another mannequin.
This is John, right? But is he really John?
All Junpei could think was she has finally completely lost it.
Isn't this like Lock Socks? Or the ship of Theseus?
Junpei grew even more confused. He'd never heard of either of those things, although they sounded smart.
You don't know? You haven't heard of those paradoxes?
Junpei shook his head. Clover laughed.
Well, pay attention then. This is how Lock Socks works.
Oh, we're gonna learn now.
Let's say I've got a pair of socks. They're my favorite socks. One of them gets a hole in it. What would you do if it was your sock, Junpei?
I'd patch it up. Well, I guess I'd patch it up. Get some cloth and close up the hole.
But what if another hole opens?
I'd add another patch, I suppose.
What if another hole opened after that?
Another patch, I guess?
Well, let's say you keep adding new patches. Until eventually, the original cloth of the sock is totally gone.
Why the fuck are socks on the screen? Well, Strom and Toombo, are apparently like, it's apparently like my favorite sock, so.
Once you get to that point, can you really say they're the same socks you started with?
Well, it's kind of interesting because the same as I think all the cells in the entire human body completely switch and regenerate in like I think 10 or 12 years, every 12 years or something. So technically we're not the same person as before. Like we don't have the same bodies, not the same cells as we started when we were born or something. So it's the same as asking are we the same people, and I guess we are, because there's something extra to us, not just our physical side. That's tough. Junpei crossed his arms. So that's the lock socks thing?
Yeah! The ship of Theseus is a lot like it!
Oh, it's basically the same thing. The ship of Theseus. If you keep fixing the damaged parts of the ship, it ends up with none of the parts it started with. Can you really say that the ship is the ship of Theseus that you started with? And what if you took all the old parts from the first ship and built another one somewhere else? Then which ship is the real ship of Theseus? The one you repaired or the one you built with all the original parts? It was an interesting question. Clover could see Junpei was intrigued.
Hey! Do you think it's the same?
What's the same?
These guys! Is this Sean? Or is it Lucy now?
Junpei looked at the operating table again. A mannequin of full body parts from a different body. Clover had been right. It was just like the lock socks and the ship of Theseus. The part of the body that holds a person's identity is the head. Of course, for many hundreds of years, conventional wisdom had held that a man's identity resided in his heart, or any of a number of internal organs. John's head and heart were both his, but apart from that, his and a single arm, the rest of his body had once been Lucy's. Was that mannequin really John's?
We're just like these mannequins!
She looked at Junpei again.
Think about it. The cells in our body change every day. Old ones die, and new ones are born. Maybe part of my arm is made of stuff from a fish I ate once. Or maybe part of your right side is made from a cow you ate. If you take it a little further, those cows and fishes are made from something else too, right? That's how we're all connected. Through fields that can't be seen with the naked eye.
The silence was broken by Seven. Hey! What the hell is taking you two so long? Seven's head appeared in the doorway. He was not happy. Clover seriously gotta be blazed as fuck right now? I don't even know what she's saying anyway. How long are you gonna make me wait? We don't have time to screw around. Junpei and Clover looked at each other. Clover looked at Junpei as if to say there was more she wanted to tell him. She shook her head. Whatever she had to tell him, she didn't want to tell him in front of Seven. Seven seemed to catch on. Oh, what were you two doing? Was this some sort of secret meeting?
No, it wasn't. We were just playing with the mannequins.
Huh?
Let's go, Junpei.
Moving a little bit too fast to be entirely innocent, Clover headed towards the exit. Seven stared after her, then turned to Junpei with an amused expression. Playing with mannequins, huh? Didn't know you were into that kind of thing, Junpei. You're a dick. Junpei dashed past them and traced Clover's path out the door. Okie doke. With a short laugh, Seven followed. They stood looking at the door. Junpei took out the Jupiter key. Alright, I'm gonna open it now. Is that cool? You don't need to keep asking. Just do it, alright? That line, yeah. Huh, fine then. He slid the key into the keyhole and turned it. He felt it unlock. There's an actual hacking GIF. Oh, it's a okay. The door opened with a soft, melancholy creak. Beyond it lay a simple, white hallway. There was no fanfare or confetti. Obviously, there was no one there to applaud them. They simply walked through the door. That was it. Alright, let's get going. Hey man, what's up with you? You're so serious, you know? Can't you be more happy? You know, get a little excited? Not really. Junpei turned away from Seven and took his first step down the simple white hallway. My brother might be dead.
I'm going to be next.
Clover told him only a few minutes before that her brother was probably dead. She was likely to follow him. How could he pretend to be happy after hearing something like that? Well, but I found it. They left the operating room. The hallway took them around several corners and past several doors, but they were all locked. Until, at last, the final door was hidden in a corner of the hall. Junpei grabbed the handle. As he made to push it open, a voice stopped him. The voice came from behind him and belonged to neither Seven nor Clover.
Junpei!
He spun around. He saw someone running toward him from the other end of the hallway. There were 3 people coming toward Junpei and his companions. Santa, Lotus, and June! They pulled up short in front of Junpei, breathing hard. Whoa! What the hell is this?
What are you doing here?
What? But we didn't... Before he could finish, Clover spoke.
Hey guys! Could you come take a look at this?
She was standing near the end of a small hallway that branched off to the right. Oh, I think this is the locker room or whatever it is, where the dead body, where Guy X is dead. The rest of them ran over to her, curious as to what she'd found. There was something on the wall at the end of the hallway. Oh, a map. Okay, never mind. A map of the ship's interior. It said SEDEC in the upper left corner. It was, they assumed, a map to the floor they were on. Who was it earlier? Disciple who said that he was bummed that we didn't have the map to the whole ship? Well, now we have for this deck. Door 7 and Door 8, the map confirmed what they already knew. Both doors eventually led to the hallway where they had found themselves. In fact... Yeah, isn't that what I said? We aren't gonna be split up permanently until we find Door 9. We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we won't be able to open Door 9. That's how the Nonary game works. Junpei looked at the map of the ship's interior again. As he looked more closely, his surprise and excitement gave way to weariness. One by one, the others saw what he'd seen. They moved as one for the door. He pulled the map of the ship's interior off the wall, put it in his pocket, and followed the others. The 6 of them stood in front of the door, arrayed in a semicircle. Santa stepped forward. He took hold of the door and spoke, without looking back at the other 5. Ready? I'm gonna open it. Slowly, all 5 nodded their silent assent. With a deep breath, Santa threw open the door. They poured through the doorway and into the room. Even without looking around, each one of them knew where they were. They were just where the map said they would be. The same room they'd been in not very long ago. The tremendous central hospital room, with empty beds from wall to wall. I see. I believe I understand what you're saying. But he already knew that, didn't he? That we'd end up here. The 6 of you split into 2 teams and went through doors 7 and 8. You solved the puzzles in the operating room and the laboratory, and then met one another in the hallway after opening your respective locked doors. He looked like anyone might, after only just waking up, but it seemed that his brain was working as well as ever. He had managed to grasp, summarize, and understand each team's report. At any rate, I feel a bit silly for my little show of altruism. I'm sure you'll be back for me. I did hope you would come back, but I confess I didn't think you'd be back so soon. What would you do if you lost your dick in an accident? Well, it depends how I lost it, Strom. And if there's any chance of getting it back. Probably wouldn't kill myself, though. Ace shook his head with a rueful smile. Well, we saw each other again. We did, so that's good enough. Seven smiled. Anyway, I guess I say we get out of this creepy old place. We found the key we need.
The key?
Ain't that what I just said, woman? I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Right, Junpei? Junpei nodded.
Ah, the solar system keys. Actually, we found one in the laboratory too. Here, the Earth key.
Well, does that go to the still warm key with an Earth symbol on it? If she dug it out, how is it from where she dug it out that it's still warm? That's what I'm wondering.
I might lose it. It's probably better if you hold on to it. That way it won't be my fault if it gets lost.
And with that, she pressed it into Junpei's hand. Yes, Ron, that's what I'm saying exactly. He felt slightly less than honored. As a group, they now had 3 keys that had not been used. The Jupiter key, which had been found in the operating room. The Saturn key card, which had been found in the kitchen. The Earth key, which Lotus had just handed to Junpei. Junpei tucked the new keys into his pocket. Jun spoke up.
The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of that long, straight hallway, right?
Yeah. If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase. Then next to the stairs.
Wait!
They were the first words anyone had heard of Clover in quite some time. Her face suggested they weren't going to be very happy words.
What about door 3?
Look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. It just leads us back to the big hospital room. There's no point in seeing what's on the other side of that door.
There is a point! At least there is for me!
There were tears in her eyes, but she glared at 7 as hard as she could, just the same. She looked very much like a frightened puppy. There wasn't a man alive who could have resisted those eyes. 7 looked everywhere in the room except at Clover, and muttering, coughing apologies under his breath. Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. Snake might be on the other side of door 3. Clover nodded once. The next person to speak was Ace. Very well. I'll be coming with you then. I've had a nice long rest. I think it's time I was up and about again. So, 7, you'll help me, won't you? Huh? Me? Junpei did the calculations quickly in his head. Math, math, math. Looked like 7 was doing them too. At last, he gave up. Damn. Well, I guess that's how he's gotta be. I'm going with you, huh? Yes, you are. Alright, let's get moving. Ace isn't a bamf, he's an asshole. He's kind of a loser asshole, he kind of fucked up big time on his plan. And so it was decided that Clover, Ace, and 7 would discover what lay behind door number 3. No, I don't think so. No choice. So can't go with Clover this time. Okay, we heading out.
Be careful.
Whoa, didn't think I'd be hearing that from you, Lotus.
Don't let it go into your head. I'd be in trouble if the 3 of you bought it. The rest of us can't open the night door.
Ah, the truth comes out. Seven nodded, as if this answer made much more sense, and pulled the lever on the red. Okay, let's go. The door opened, and Ace, Clover, and Seven jumped through it. Since I fucked up, now we need to man up and get to work. Possibly. 6, 7, 8. After exactly 9 seconds, the door closed noisily.
Alright, we should get moving too.
Huh?
Get moving?
Where are we going? Everyone except Lotus seemed rather confused.
Well, it would be a waste of time to just sit around, wouldn't it? Let me explain. I get it. We're gonna see if we can get anywhere interesting with the Jupiter key. Yes. If we're lucky, we might find Snake.
They were at the end of the hallway, lined by individual hospital rooms. The Jupiter symbol was engraved on the keyhole.
Alright, Junpei. Open it if you please.
Yeah, on it. Junpei pulled the Jupiter key out of his pocket and slid it into the keyhole. He twisted. With a nice sharp click, he felt the door unlock. Alright, ready guys? Junpei's companions nodded. By the way, if you guys are bored, I think this is another part I can skip through if you guys want, or I don't mind keep doing all the dialogues. He nodded back and then slowly and quietly opened the door. Inside was exactly what he expected to see from the map of the ship's interior. They were in a tremendous hall, almost like a ballroom, with a massive central staircase. Great, back to the beginning. You sure this is a good idea? What do you mean? Well, we already searched every edge of this room, didn't we? I'm asking you if there's any reason we came back here. Of course there's a reason. Of course there's a reason. Man, sometimes I can't tell if you're smart or just lucky. German says I can skip. Golf says fast forwarding wouldn't hurt. Okay. Sure thing then. If no one's objecting, might as well. So basically, if I remember correctly, so what's happening now is that they're going... Yeah, they split up to check what's behind each of the lunar... June was probably afraid of... Oh shit, that they could only go down. I'm not gonna tease her. Because she's not afraid to be alone with a boy. She's very interested in that, I think. Might as well save now, though, before I forget. Oh, Moose enjoys listening to me. And Disciple didn't see any of these. Then, well, if it's 2 to 2... Do top 1 for shits and giggles? Okay. As long as it doesn't hurt. Then I guess as long as it's 2 to 2... I guess I will keep reading for Moose and Disciple. If they haven't seen it, so they can enjoy themselves. I mean, it's not too bad, right, guys? I mean, Jode and Golf, it's not too bad. Okay, so being locked up with the boy. After a little thought, Junpei decided that she had to be nervous about being locked up in such a small space alone with a boy. In a way, it was kind of cute. Oh, so anyway, what happened now, Disciple and Moose, is that they split up to 2 teams, Lotus and Santa, and June and Junpei, to check out what's behind each of the doors if they had the key for. Mercury, I think, and Earth. And now they're going to find out what's behind each of them. And Mercury is a key card that unlocks these elevators, so now we can use them. And that's where we are now. In a way, it was kind of cute. Very demure, you could say, he thought. Still, even though it wasn't exactly roomy in the elevator, they weren't going to be pressed up against one another. At least they didn't have to be. Jupiter could be Jupiter. I might. Oh no, Jupiter is what we used to get to this staircase, and then we had a key card and the Earth key. The key card I think was Mercury, because it opened. You can see the machine with the green light in the background to the left of the screen. Still, it was making her nervous. Junpei couldn't help but think how innocent she was. Come on, let's go. Again, he stepped toward the elevator. And again, he felt himself restrained.
I said wait a minute.
Why?
Aren't you afraid, Jumpy?
Is this the part where Jumpy draws a fucking map for the elevator? It is? I don't remember this part. That he draws a map. Oh yeah, it is. And the water, yeah.
Well, I never,
She's never been in an elevator with a man alone before? Even so, she still seemed awfully alarmed.
I might get wet.
What? Whoa, baby. Hold on. Hold your horses.
Down there, I'd get soaking wet.
Wow, these Japanese guys, Jesus. Well, I mean, of course you would. That's the way it works. I mean, I've never heard of anyone getting soaking wet somewhere else.
That's true. You don't mind
Mind what?
getting wet?
Well, I don't know. I think I'd probably, like it. Yeah, June is definitely a bang out of 10.
Gosh, Jumpy, you're so brave.
Really? I mean, I kind of think any guy would do the same thing, you know? What happens, happens, right? If you get the chance, you've just gotta go for it. That's what a man's supposed to do, I guess. Oh, yeah.
You're so cool, Jumpy. I really admire you.
That doesn't really seem like the sort of thing you ought to admire someone for.
I'm really scared.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you've never done it before.
Yes. So I don't think I'll be able to last very long. And then it'll be over.
Over?
Yes. I'll go to heaven.
Heaven?
It feels kind of like you're floating in space, and your mind gets all fuzzy, like when you pass out. At least that's what I've heard from people who have experienced it.
Yes, I've heard that too. Although I don't think the same thing happens to guys.
What?
Huh?
But it would happen to men too, wouldn't it? It would happen to anyone. Once it gets into your body, the same thing happens to everyone.
Well, I mean, usually it doesn't go inside the man. I mean, generally...
Yes, it does. Well, eventually it will. It's not like you really have a choice. Your body will force you to swallow some of it. To swallow. Your body will force you to swallow some of it eventually.
What are you trying to do to me?
Nothing. I'm not going to do anything to you.
Trap confirmed. Trap confirmed.
I'm just saying that's what happens. It's a psychological reaction to what you're experiencing.
Oh man. Was that really how it happened? It occurred to Junpei that perhaps it was how it worked. Perhaps he'd been mistaken all these years. Had he misunderstood life so gravely? The thought terrified him. Jun seemed to be entirely oblivious to Junpei's mounting confusion and terror.
I know most men probably have larger lungs, but even then, I don't think you could hold your breath for 20 or even 10 minutes. Eventually you'd have to breathe, and then the water would get into your lungs. Once that happens, your body won't be able to get oxygen anymore, and you'll start to feel that floaty feeling as you pass out.
Finally, Junpei understood. He understood what Jun was trying to say and why she was so scared. Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't last very long.
See?
She was afraid that the only elevator button pointed down. That meant, of course, that the elevator couldn't go any higher than the floor they were on. Junpei realized he hadn't seen elevators on A or B decks near the central staircase. All of which meant that the elevator... So you see, guys, it was just a prank. It was just a joke. All just a big, funny misunderstanding. Oh man, this silly, quirky game. Ugh. All of which meant that the elevator could only convey them to the lower decks. And the floor below the one they were on, D deck, should be completely submerged. That meant... Hey, wait a minute. This elevator came up from somewhere under us, right?
Well, yes, I guess it did. It didn't open right away after you pressed the button. There was a motor noise, like it was moving and then open.
I think I actually found my first highlight to create. Guys, this was pretty funny, and I think me cracking was also pretty funny. I think I just found my first highlight.
There was a motor noise, like it was moving and then it opened.
Yeah, exactly. Good thing we didn't skip over that, man.
Yes.
So, take a look inside. Junpei jerked his head toward the interior of the elevator. It's not wood at all, is it? The walls and even the floor are totally dry.
Oh, you're right, they are.
Yeah, I could give it to Snore too if he wants to put it on the AP here. But I think it could do some good for my channel too, hopefully. I think I'll end it with 3, like when they're both, before Junpei starts laughing, I think then it stops being funny. She looked around the elevator, startlingly embarrassed. Well, let's test it.
Test it?
Yeah, watch this. Junpei put one foot in the elevator and bent around the corner of the door until he could see the floor buttons. There were only 2, E and C. He pushed the E button and jumped out of the elevator. The door slid shut, and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved down. Yeah, Gecko, we did do this before. We were here before. But Moose and Disciple asked me to read it again because they weren't here. So, sure, why not? As long as someone else doesn't really object. Yeah, Gecko, you probably were here on the last playthrough. A few moments later, they heard the sound of the elevator door grinding open several floors below. Junpei nodded to June and pressed the elevator button again. A few moments later, the elevator returned. The door slid open, and just as Junpei had expected, there was no water to be found. See? Junpei couldn't resist puffing out his chest, just a little bit. June, however, still looked confused.
What does that mean? How can the E deck be safe if the D deck is full of water?
Well, here's what I think. The elevator shaft in E deck must be watertight and separated from wherever the ship's been punctured. Here, let me show you. He pulled out his notebook and pen and sketched out a rough illustration.
I see. So, is that why the ship hasn't sunk? The shape of the inside keeps it all from filling with water?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on. Junpei continued talking as he closed the notebook and slipped it back into his pocket. So I'm gonna go down and check it out. You stay here, alright?
But...
Come on, just do it, alright? I'd really like to see an anime of this. I bet they'll make one at some point, Jodmund. An anime of 999 or something. I bet at some point that'll happen. Or a manga or something. There might already be a manga. He gave June's shoulder a reassuring squeeze, then hopped onto the elevator. He pushed the E button, and the door began to close. June looked worried, her eyes darting back and forth as if she was trying to make a decision, when suddenly... most definitely, Cake.
I'm coming with you.
Huh? At the last possible moment, June dashed forward, turning sideways just in time to slip through the gap between the closing doors. Junpei jammed his finger against the open button, but it was too late. The door had shut. He and June were in the elevator and was headed down to E-Deck. They made an anime trailer for Virtue's Last Reward. Really? That's fucking awful and contradicts a whole bunch of shit from the game. Aw, that sucks. Oh well. He was so surprised by June that he didn't even have time to think about what awaited him on E-Deck. The elevator stopped and the door slid open. They stepped off onto the floor outside the elevator. Nothing seemed especially unusual. No fish going about their fishy business or jellyfish floating lazily through the water. There was, however, a blowfish, or at least something that looked very much like one. June's cheeks were puffed out, and her mouth a tiny, intense frown. Oh, knock it off. It's just like I thought. This part hasn't flooded. Come on, just look around. There's no water here. June looked around nervously, then exhaled.
You're right. It's not flooded at all.
See?
But there's a whole lot of water.
Yeah, right on top of us.
What's going to happen if the ceiling breaks?
It mostly just depicts the first 15 minutes of the game in order to sum up the premise and introduce the characters. By doing so, they end up getting a bunch of things wrong. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. Junpei thought about that for a moment. Well, we probably get really wet up there.
Huh?
At any rate, we should probably go back as soon as we can, once we're done looking around down here. Lotus and Santa might already be back.
Okay. Good idea.
Junpei glanced around the room they found themselves in. The first thing he noticed was a set of thick iron bars. They ran the length of the room, separating the left elevator from the right one. Well, we can't go over there.
Right.
Then perhaps... In the corner of the room that housed the elevators, Junpei found an opening. He walked up to it and stuck his head around the corner. A long, straight hallway stretched out in front of him.
That door at the end of the hallway, there's something written on it.
Yeah, let's go have a look. Junpei and June set off down the hallway at a brisk clip, somewhere between a run and a jog. Before long, they found themselves in front of the door. On it was a number written in bright red paint. 6. I knew it.
This is a numbered door.
And indeed, there was a red bolted to the wall right next to the door. Of course, with only 2 people, there wasn't much they could do with it. Alright, let's head back.
Yes.
Junpei and June turned and headed back to C-Deck. On their way back, Junpei noticed a map on the wall. As it turned out, it was a burnt map of the ship's interior for E-Deck. Oh well. Huh. So you guys found door 1. They'd met back up with Santa and Lotus, who had explained what they'd found. Apparently there was another numbered door on A-Deck, just like the one on E-Deck, beyond the door that the Earth key opened. Junpei is number 6. No, he's number 5. June is number 6. According to Santa and Lotus, there was a 1 on the door. All told, they had discovered 2 new doors, the 6 door and the 1 door.
It is interesting that E-Deck wasn't flooded.
Lotus was quiet for a moment, lost in thought. Well, we don't really know if all of E-Deck is safe. We only checked the area around the elevator.
Even so, it's still very interesting.
We said the 6th door was there, right?
Yes.
That means Zero planned all this out, even the sinking. That would have meant some pretty serious remodeling of the ship's interior.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. Yeah. I wonder how long it took. I can't even imagine how much it must have cost.
It would have been a ton, that's for sure. Well, that does go along with what Ace was saying. The most reasonable explanation would be that this was done by some organization with access to a whole lot of cash.
Yes, it does make sense.
Which is probably the pharmaceutical company, I'm guessing. That thought made them all go quiet for a moment. June bit her lip while Lotus sighed softly to herself, and Santa cracked a stiff neck and stared off into the distance at nothing.
I don't think it's a very good idea to stay here.
June looked up at Junpei with large, pleading eyes. Yeah, you're right. Ace and his team might be back already.
Well, Junpei, and I shall be able to open door 1.
Huh? You guys leaving me behind? Math.
Just kidding. Alright, let's go.
Lotus's words were all the impetus they needed. Back to the large hospital room they went. The moment they stepped inside, a tremendous voice echoed across the room. Hey! Where the hell did you guys go? It was Seven. Ace was right behind him, and Clover was behind Ace, although she seemed to be hanging back. It looked as though there was something strange about them. Seven had the look of a man who'd seen a ghost. Ace was just as pale, and Clover looked as though she was only moments from passing out entirely. Actually, I think in this run, well, we'll see, but I think because we don't know that Snake had a fake arm this time, then we can't know that Guy X isn't Snake, and then maybe we can't accuse Ace. We'll see how it plays out. Is there going to be too many of them in that room? What are you talking about? Well, now if they split into two and they're 7 right now, so they can split into a group of 4 and a group of 3, and each go into a different room, maybe, if the math adds up. For a long moment, they simply stood there looking at one another. Jupiter looked around nervously, waiting for someone else to speak. No one did. He looked at 7. What happened? What the hell kind of question is that? 7 was trying very hard to be angry, but something had shaken him hard. His shoulders were trembling, and his voice was strained. Snake is... 7 couldn't finish. He just looked away, his face twisted by... Junpei wasn't sure what. Instead, Ace spoke. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and spoke. Snake is... dead. He died, just as the 9th man did, and you killed him. Sort of. It was as if all the air had suddenly been sucked out of the room. Junpei felt his heartbeat quicken, and he realized he was having trouble breathing. He could feel cold sweat beading on his forehead and neck. June, Santa, and Lotus looked the way he felt. All 3 were frozen in place, their faces white.
Oh my god, that's not true, is it? We should make sure.
Yeah, right, we should. They nodded to one another and headed for the number 3 door. Wait, not that way. He stopped short and turned to look at 7. He was pointing at the door with no number. I stuck a screwdriver in there to keep the door from closing all the way. It's not locked, so you can go in that way. Where is he? The shower room on the left side of the hallway. Put a broom in there too to keep the door open. We can get in without going through the numbered door, right? Yeah, that's right. The new destination clear, Junpei and his companions headed for the door with no number. Once in the hallway, it was easy to spot the middle door on the left wall. It hadn't been open when they'd been through before, but now, just as 7 had said, there was a broom stuck in between the door and the frame, keeping it open. They looked at it for a moment, then stepped inside.
Ugh, it smells horrible.
Lotus wrinkled her nose and covered her mouth in disgust. Even Santa pinched his nose shut. Yeah, this is pretty awful. I feel like I'm gonna puke. It was just as bad as they said, perhaps worse. A hideous smell filled the air, so thick they could almost taste it. It was sour and smelled of fish, feces, and burned meat. It worked its way through Junpei's nose and down his throat, to pound against the entrance to his stomach. He put his hands over his mouth and struggled to keep what little was in his stomach where it belonged. See there, it says LLR over there, or just LR, I'm not sure, on the wall. Which I thought might be a code for the bracelet, but it didn't. It seems like that guy No, it doesn't make any sense. The guy couldn't have written after he exploded, so did someone else write in blood? I don't get that LLR thing at all. At all. Like, I have no idea what happened there. They didn't have to wonder where the body was. Also, the game doesn't acknowledge that it says LLR. There was blood everywhere. A few arms of the splatter reached toward them as they walked through the door. All one had to do was follow the many radial arms to their source. The body itself was hidden behind a divider. June, you should stay here. But... Please, just do me a favor, okay? Alright? He didn't give her a chance to say no. He put his hand on her shoulder, as if to shove her into the ground like a tent pole, turned, and walked toward the end of the divider. Don't know who else could have come here. Well, Zero, and I don't know. Zero is the only one really who could do it. Because he's also the only one right now that knows that it's not Snake, that it's actually Guy X. Yeah, it is really strange that the game doesn't acknowledge it. Yeah. Felt like it took an eternity for him to get there. Santa and Lotus followed, timid and nervous as a pair of children. Eventually, they reached the divider. They looked at one another and nodded, slowly. Junpei put his hands on the divider and peered around the corner. For a moment, he forgot to breathe. Guy X, we don't know who Guy X... No, it's actually not Zero. We know it's not Zero. Because last time, Guy X died, and Zero... but Zero was definitely alive, because he probably killed us at the end of last game. We don't know what happened, we just kind of like... He gassed us and we went unconscious, but I'm guessing that means Junpei died. I'm guessing. Yeah, he's an 11th person, which makes this even more bizarre. I felt a heart collapse in his chest like an empty cigarette carton, and time froze. He knew that in that instant he would take the image before him to the grave. What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Thing is that now on this run we can't tell that it's not actually Snake, because Clover never told us about his prosthetic. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great Red Sea. A vast ragged hole that had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti. Like mom's spaghetti. Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall and become stuck there as they dried. Globules of yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall, even as they dried to it. Just like Ace Sid. Santa's voice was strained. Junpei suspected he was holding down some vomit of his own. Just like the ninth man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut. How would he know? He never looked at the ninth man. Or whatever. It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful. His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna. Want me to never eat spaghetti at your place again? That's okay, we'll just have yours. His bracelet lay next to him. It seems to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces. Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. Pizza. There's some pizza in the fridge. I should probably eat after this. His clothes too were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the grey slacks. They were all familiar to Junpei.
No mistake about that. It's Snake.
Lotus's voice was unnaturally deep and strained, and Junpei heard it catch in her throat. Besides, well, if you ever get here, you won't gonna be eating spaghetti. You're gonna be eating some grade A hummus or something. Or some real shawarma, not the stuff they sell abroad. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. It sounded like the noise a ghost would make. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time it put him on edge. It didn't help that there was a girl nearby who looked far more like a ghost than a living human should. It was Clover. She sat on the edge of the bed, her head drooping listlessly onto her chest. Her eyes were blank and stared across the room at nothing. Her breathing was slow and mechanical. Can you get a bacon cheeseburger in Israel? Yeah, but you need to find... like, not in most burger places, but there are non-kosher burger places which sell bacon cheeseburgers. I've had it in my life. No, we don't have halal here, Tumbi, since it's a Jewish country, not a Muslim country, and there's no halal in Judaism. Aside from the rise and fall of her chest, she didn't move. Junpei felt as if even a nudge might cause her to shatter into 1,000 pieces. Yeah, Tumbi. Snake was probably murdered. Chances are he was killed the same way the ninth man was. Seven lowered his voice, likely in an effort to keep Clover from hearing what he had to say. Yeah, you can eat pork in Israel. It's just a bit they charge extra money for halal shit at my school. Oh, wow. Really? Anyway, you can eat pork here. It's just a bit harder to find because you need to find like supermarkets or restaurants that aren't kosher, and most of the supermarkets and restaurants and stores in the country are. But there still are a few that aren't. You can buy as much pork as you want, basically. Seven lowered his voice, likely in an effort to keep Clover from hearing what he had to say. There were 4 other people in the room with Junpei and Seven: Ace, Santa, June, and Lotus. As a Nazi, I used to hate the Jews a lot, but Jesus fuck, these goddamn fucking Muslims, nothing is more endearing than me. What are you doing to Palestine? Please do it to the rest of the Middle East. That's an odd compliment, Agrest, but I'm glad that you don't hate Jews in general and me specifically. I'm happy for that. So, thanks, man. Seven looked at each one of them in turn and continued. It's pretty straightforward. Not that hard to figure out how they did it. First, the killers got Snake to authenticate on the way to open door 3. Then they shoved him into it alone and waited for 9 seconds for the door to shut. Once that door shut, it was over for Snake, but he didn't give up. He probably knew it wouldn't do him any good. He probably ran into the shower room looking for the dead. Yeah, that sucks, Scrib. Sorry to hear that, man. It was a small chance, but it wasn't like he had anything to lose. Unfortunately, it didn't work. The detonator is only deactivated if everybody authenticated when they went in and used as the dead. And then 81 seconds after he was shoved in, that happened. I see. So that's what you meant by killers, huh? You need at least 3 people to open one of the numbered doors, including Snake. It won't open for Snake and a single killer. Exactly. That means we're looking for a multiple purpose here. Actually, when we know that what really happened, I'm telling you this to Disciple and Moose. Oh, Korn. Hi, Korn. Good to see you. What we know that really happened is that Ace had unfinished business pretty much with Snake from a previous edition of the non-airy game. See, 9 years before there was another non-airy game just like this, and Snake participated in that one too. And Ace was one of the people who organized that game, that experiment. So Ace had to kill Snake because he thought that he had something against him, that he was going to kill him. So when he had a chance, he was going to kill Snake. He did it by himself because he took the 9th man's bracelet and used the number 9 and then 1 and 2 to open door number 3. And he shoved who he thought was Snake inside, and that was Guy X, and Guy X died. So that's where we know that really happened. So there was only 1 killer, not 2 or more. Junpei crossed his arms and grunted. Well, just in case, I want to make sure. Let's say you're right. What do you think? When do you think Snake was killed? Well, we all split up and to look for the parts for the Reds, I think. Right after that was when he noticed he was gone. When we noticed he was gone. That means none of us have alibis. We were all off searching the rooms we'd been assigned, looking for those parts. Yeah. That means anybody could be a killer.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
June seemed shocked.
How can you say one of us is the killer so casually?
Well, not just one of us. If I'm right, then at least two of us are murderers. Why don't you calm down a bit, Seven? And here's the guy himself who did the deed. What are you going to gain by being so suspicious? That's what Zero wants, you know. What Zero wants? Exactly. This game was set up by Zero, wasn't it? Any game has a winner and a loser. Whoever makes it through door 9 is a winner, and those who don't are the losers. Zero is trying to make us fight against one another for that victory.
Then you're saying that Zero is trying to split us up and making us fight each other?
Yes. That is why we can't let ourselves fall prey to suspicion. We have to trust one another and form a strong bond of friendship. Otherwise, we'll end up ensnared by Zero's manipulations.
Then, does that mean that the person who killed Snake...
Yes, almost certainly Zero himself.
What if Zero is Alice? The frozen Egyptian priestess? That'd be creepy.
If there's anyone we should doubt, it should be Zero. He masterminded this game and kidnapped all of us. Does it seem reasonable that he would have killed Snake as well?
Jupe hadn't really considered that. If Zero had killed Snake, then Zero was on the ship with him. Was Zero still on the ship with him? Yeah, of course. Of course he was. That was obvious. Zero was somewhere on the ship, but Jupe had no idea where. Jupe mumbled to himself, lost in thought. Guess that would explain why the game keeps bringing her up in this timeline. Yeah, exactly. What could Zero be hiding? Suddenly, everyone went very quiet. The silence was cold and clammy, and Junpei could feel it crawling across his back and around his throat. They better have a damn good explanation for it. Yep. Well, I already have the feeling that they won't be explaining everything in the end. There's still going to be a lot of unanswered questions and stuff that doesn't add up. But there is going to be some sort of ending. I don't think they considered everything. I don't think they'll tie everything up in a nice, neat bundle. And part of it will probably be the excuse of, you'll see in the next game, more questions won't be answered, which is a lie. Again, he heard the ghosting moaning noise. And moments later, a person who looked more ghost than human appeared. It was Clover. She looked at the floor as she spoke, and her voice was a cold monotone. I think Zero is one of us! Every human body in the room froze. The only sound that was the muffled rustling of breath. There's next game supposedly a third game coming out. Yeah, I know, that's why I'm saying it's an excuse, but I bet in the second game they won't answer, like, there are still more questions raised than answers given. Eyes dart from face to face. One of those faces with the face of their jailer. But who? I don't think so. I think Zero is a different person. I don't think he's one of them. The only person it might be is Santa. And Santa doesn't strike me as Zero. Like the way he's been playing the game. I don't think he's Zero. Junpei said, that's possible. Well, that's possible. Huh? Next system, I want to prove that the Attack on Titan theme goes with literally everything. Okay. Like Clover said, Zero might be one of us. What are you saying, Junpei?
Didn't you hear what Ace said? What, that shit offline got it? What are you talking about? Yarrow non-will. Exactly. I said we shouldn't suspect one another for no reason. No reason? I've got a great reason. And what's that? Maybe Zero is the ship itself and is trying to kill everybody because he led his brother the Titanic sink. Oh! That's actually a pretty good explanation, Jodmund. I totally go with that. The bracelets. He held out his left arm. Why are the bombs in our bodies connected to the bracelets? You're all thinking Zero's hiding somewhere, watching us, right? If he's doing that, then he could just detonate the bombs by remote control if someone did something they weren't supposed to. It would be a lot more precise and a lot easier. But if that's the case, then why is the bomb set up by another detonator in the bracelet? Huh. You got a point. I'm not done, bitch. Try applying the same ideas to the nonary game. All of the puzzles here are run by themselves. In other words, Zero doesn't have to be controlling them for the game to move forward. Why's that? Why would Zero bother to do something like that? Junpei let the question hang in the air and looked at the others. It was Santa who answered. So let's say you and Clover are right. Zero is one of us. If that's the case, then it'd be really hard for him to keep track of all of us, or control anything remotely. That's why all the puzzles run by themselves. That's what you're getting at, right? Yeah. Junpei nodded. 7. When we were talking earlier, you said any one of us could be Snake's killer, right? Yeah, something like that. Alright then, I've got a question for you, Ace. You said something like Zero must be the one who killed Snake, right? Yes, something like that. I can't think of any other explanation, except you doing it, asshole. So what do we get if we combine those? They fit together pretty well, I think. Something like this. Whoever killed Snake is Zero, who is also one of us. 7 and Ace's theories aren't mutually exclusive. They actually complement each other pretty well. What if you cover the bracelet in foil, then remove it? Because foil stops the ion rays from entering your brain. Well, you can't remove it though. It doesn't have a clasp or anything. The only way to remove it is either to complete the nonary game or to chop off your hand or something like that. At least they do if Zero is one of us. Ace is Zero? No, Ace is definitely not Zero. Zero had something. He's Zero. For some reason, Zero had wanted to get back at Ace, and apparently he engineered. He let Ace kill Guy Zero. Without he tricked Ace into killing Guy Zero, but in the end of the last playthrough, Zero pretty much made sure that Ace died. So it's definitely not the same person. I think it measures your heart rate or something to determine you were still alive. No, that can't be Edgar Golf because Snake's bracelet is on his prosthetic hand, so no heart rate. Ace isn't exactly a red herring. There's just a bigger thing going on here. It seems like the whole point of doing this might have been so that Zero, like the whole point of this nonary game might have been just so Zero could take revenge on Ace. What I think is that Guy X is someone who's close to Ace, and Zero tricked Ace into killing Guy X. Zero is not killed. Zero was the last person we talked to in the last run through. So he's definitely alive. No one spoke. Their faces were grim, but Junpei wasn't sure if they believed him or not. Finally, Lotus spoke up. The bombs? No, the bombs are in their stomachs. When Zero kidnapped them and put them on the boat, he had them swallow the bombs, the little bombs. And it's been so long that they're in their lower abdomen, so they can't throw them out. They can't throw them up or anything. Yeah, it's in their intestines.
What were his motives?
His motives?
Yes. Isn't that pretty important?
Why isn't Lotus dead yet? Good question. She was almost dead last playthrough, but we actually saved her, so that didn't happen.
Why would Zero want to hide as one of us?
Oh. Well, that's because, Junpei choked. So they could potentially shut them out. Yeah, but they're gonna die in 5 hours, and that's not enough time to shut them out. If they ate some bad seafood, maybe. Or Mexican food. Maybe, I guess. But there's none here, so no laxatives, no seafood or Mexican, no food at all actually, except that slice of meat we found. He hadn't thought of that, and he had to be honest with himself. He had no idea. Or finger their buttholes just right. Because Zero is a sociopath that gets off on watching people suffer. No, Gahar, it actually seems like there's a note we found signed by Zero that seems like Zero wants revenge. He says he was gonna enact revenge on the people responsible for the non-airy game 9 years ago. Look for the person with the erection and there is Zero. Well, you could eat what's left of Snake. It's not Snake, it's Guy X, but that won't necessarily make us shit ourselves. Though decide.
Well, so much for making a persuasive argument, Junpei.
In other words, you had only circumstantial evidence. I don't really think that's enough to go on, you know? Junpei was painfully aware of their eyes on him and their disapproval. Junpei had something to do with the non-airy game 9 years ago. No, as far as we know, Junpei had nothing to do with non-airy game 9 years ago. The only people we know who definitely were there. Oh, you're gonna get some tacos, German? Good luck with that. All depends where the tacos are from. Anyway, Junpei had nothing to do with non-airy game. The only two people we know who had something to do with it are Snake and Ace. Which is how Zero used Ace to think he was killing Snake, but he was actually killing Guy X. Zero also had, apparently he was affected in some way by the non-airy game 9 years ago, but we don't know exactly. And we do know that Snake was one of the participants back then too, and we know that Ace was one of the organizers. So, that's all we know right now about the non-airy game 9 years ago. And before Junpei is actually Zero. No, that's not possible, because we talked to Zero on several occasions, so it can't be. Unless the game pulls a Jekyll Hyde sort of twist, which I don't think it will. Just when he felt he could bear it no longer. They heard a bell begin to ring. It was the clock at the central staircase. 3 bong.
That means we have 3 hours left.
Then we need to move now. Pre-recorded messages? No, no. We saw him in person when he kidnapped us. We caught a glimpse of him before we fell unconscious. 7 Clover Junpei. Yeah, exactly. It's 3 bong. I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another, don't you? Junpei couldn't bring himself to respond. He swallowed the words he wanted to say and sighed. 7 and Clover remained similarly silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far away. We must go. We have very little time left. Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where they were going. Their next destination was Mercury. Okay, that's it for now. I think it's been about 3 hours of me streaming. I think that's it for today. Also got some stuff to do tomorrow, sadly. So that's it for now. I think. Thank you guys for watching me. Thank you guys for helping me and helping me having fun with me. Both on SafeStateHeroes.com and both to the guys on Twitch, which are Cake and Judgment. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll be back. I won't be back tomorrow, sadly, because I got a previous engagement that I really regret doing, like agreeing to do. But I'll probably you can check back on my schedule either on SafeStateHeroes.com or on Twitch, and you can see what time I'll be back on Sunday. And if not, then definitely Monday, like either Sunday or Monday, probably. And what else? I think that's it for now. So I'm just gonna say it again. I sort of need. It would really help me. it would really help me, and I would really appreciate if you guys could, like, I don't know, tell your friends about my streams, or follow me on Twitch or Twitter or Steam or YouTube or any of those things, because that stuff would really help me, actually, because I'm really getting close to the point where I can't keep doing, where I'm gonna need, anyway, never mind, I'll talk about that later. It would just really help me. I also want to say, except the schedule, that I also have a system of requesting games in place on my Twitch page. You can either vote for games that are already requested so I can play them sooner, or you can request games of yourself and other people can vote for them too. So that's it for now, I think. Thank you very much, guys. I'll probably be back on Sunday, but if you guys want to make sure, check tomorrow evening, check the schedule. I'll update it by tomorrow evening night, and GMT, that is. And I think that's it. So again, thanks a lot, guys. I always take along with these, and I'll see you guys soon. So bye, guys. Marco.